Go.
Hey everybody, it's DBL Nation. I'm Jason from the digital team with the lovely Erica and the lovely Stephanie Jones, who's joining us all week. And we just wanted to start the discussion today. This is a trending story and we want to get your opinion right now because it's kind of crazy. Stephanie, what's going on in St. Louis?
So there's a controversial late night ban of alcohol. The city council met yesterday to discuss the proposal, and it would ban alcohol sales on Main Street after 11 p.m. And they're saying that business owners are going crazy because it's going to force some bars and restaurants to close a lot earlier.
Now, St. Charles is a suburb of St. Louis, and I heard this and was outraged, and Erica's immediate response to me in the back of the room was, oh, this is very Midwestern.
It's very Midwest. I'm from the Midwest, so I can say that. But it's interesting because it's coming on the heels of Indiana, which in February just declared that it wasn't going to be a dry state anymore on Sundays. Because what happens is people are going to other states or other counties and they're spending their money there, and then the state or the county is losing revenue. So they, as a result, Indiana for the first time, and my dad has a business there, you can buy alcohol on Sunday, and people are acting like it's like the biggest thing ever. But on the flip side, in terms of why this might be a great idea, and I've seen like in more affluent communities, in suburban communities, where everything shuts down sometimes at 10 p.m. So the idea of the alcohol sales being done at 11 makes it more for a more affluent, family-friendly community.
I feel bad for the local businesses and the restaurants because that could seriously impact on them.
Blow. And you know, okay, so let's take where they stand. They say it's going to be safer for kids, safer. My question is, in this age of ride sharing, so drunk driving, you should be pushing more ride sharing programs probably in your community than actual, you know, so people don't have to get in their car. And when it comes to kids, here's my feeling. If domestic disputes are going to happen as a result of late night drinking, I don't feel like those people are going to simply stop drinking after a hard day's work because the bars aren't selling alcohol anymore. Pushing this underground into basement drinking and yard drinking at 11, 12 o'clock at night, I don't think that's going to produce a safer evening in the community.
Well, I think people are still going to drink no matter what. They're going to find a way of going out, especially on the weekends. It gets to Friday, you want to go out and celebrate the week with your boyfriends or with your like girlfriends or whatever.
Yeah.
So I mean, people are still going to find a way, and if they can't do that there, they're going to end up doing it at home or elsewhere. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's funny that Erica said Indiana because also Los Angeles has just passed a thing where it's going to start serving alcohol until 4 a.m. So, you know, while some of these larger cities and places like Indiana, which has been dry for so long, they're telling that, you know, there is a proof of concept this is not working. They're losing money. Their businesses are losing money. So my question is, you know, if I was a bar owner or restaurant owner in St. Charles, I would be outraged.
See, but it also says Main Street, so that implies that it's downtown that's closing.
Right.
Yes.
More so there might be other establishments outside of that area where they just don't want there to be a lot of traffic downtown. Because what happens is in some of these smaller towns, you get like 4 or 5 places,
community.
and then everybody hangs out there, and it lowers people's property value. Like people are getting, especially in those areas, which tend to be some of the most expensive areas in town to live.
Well, maybe then it'll spread out a bit of the spending, and people go a bit further afield and maybe visit places and restaurants and bars that they wouldn't normally get the chance to go
maybe
and see.
We want to know what you guys think about this. I mean, do you think it's actually better for the property value, better for the community, or do you actually think that pushing people out of local community gathering places and making them disperse it late at night is really just going to make more mischief, you know?
Well, I mean, I think it's interesting, isn't it? I'd like to know the area. I wish I'd have been so I could visit.
Yeah, to St. Charles. I don't know the area. If you guys are in St. Louis, we want to, you know, hear from you guys.
Yeah,
do you think St. Charles would benefit from this, or do you think it will not make a difference?
I would be frustrated if I was a local resident. I think that was really...
Carrie Hill on YouTube says, I agree, we're adults, act like it and be responsible. Ned Flanders on YouTube, this is most definitely a slight against small business. Somebody is about to get voted out of office. That's interesting. All right, guys, well, listen, keep the comments coming because we're going to talk about this all throughout the day. Stephanie will be joining us during the breaks, and we'll see you soon. Sounds great.
Today on Daily Blast Live, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's nasty custody battle. Could she actually lose her kids? Tori Shulman goes one-on-one with Carol Burnett.
I want to put on wigs and black out my teeth and do pratfalls. And
The comedy legend on doing things her way. And talk about a rise to the top. Meet the world's most famous raccoon. Daily Blast Live starts right now.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Wednesday, June 13th, halfway to the weekend, folks. We can do it. We can make it. All right, let's get right into it. We are live, and right now, Angelina Jolie is defending herself in a custody battle. Reports surfaced that she could lose physical custody of her kids if she continues to limit Brad Pitt's access to them. Now, a spokesperson for Angelina told The Blast, quote, "It's deplorable that someone, for their own selfish reasons, leaked selective portions of the confidential and sealed court record to create an inaccurate and unfair picture of what is really happening." Now, the couple separated, you remember, in September of 2016 after an incident on a plane involving their eldest son, Maddox. Now, Pitt was cleared of allegations of child abuse because there were accusations, but he was cleared of that. Erica, what does this say to you? The fact that he only has, just to provide additional context, when he does visit the kids in London, he's only allowed 4 hours at a time, and it has to be supervised by a doctor.
You know, it says to me that one side's playing dirty, and yesterday it seemed convincing that it was her side, but now I really feel like it's his. Because here's what we know, that he's only allowed 4 hours, they are supervised, and the headline still reads, Angelina Jolie could lose her kids. That sounds like a comment that came from a judge, like, if you don't do what's ordered, then you're in jeopardy of losing your kid, not an imminent threat. So the idea that these things were leaked, unbeknownst to Angelina Jolie's side, obviously, is alarming to me, and I'm wondering what Brad Pitt's side is trying to cover.
Erica, I just wonder, I mean, this story aside, which is weird because it's the first story we're covering, but I just think this is the first time in my life I've heard the phrase leaked over and over again. And for people that are going to not conduct our lives in the court, but we will always have matters in the court. We are public figures in a way, and it's like, it just seems like everybody's most private documents can be leaked. I mean, what is the recourse for this? I mean, we've seen it with the White House, but like when it starts to affect people's lives, when it starts to affect how you're going to be able to see your kids, I mean, this isn't a big deal. This is the biggest deal. If something happened to affect public perception that affected how often I could see the things I love most in the world, I mean, that's a big deal.
It's sad. I feel for the kids.
I do too.
Yeah,
I do
sure.
too. And happening right now, Kim Kardashian is on her way to Memphis. Like her or not, Kim is only minutes away from meeting Alice Marie Johnson for the first time face to face. Johnson was freed by President Trump, who commuted her life sentence after this meeting with Kim Kardashian on May 30th. And we will be monitoring this story and giving you all the latest details as soon as Kim lands in Memphis. But is this a new direction, do you think, Al, for the reality star? Activism?
I think so. I think she put her mind to doing something, and she saw change immediately. And I think that just goes to show you how big her spotlight, the word you use, spotlight, how big that is and how quickly we saw change. I mean, there have been people that have been fighting for prison reform for a long time, and she got it done in 48 hours. So I say good on you. I don't care how you feel about her.
As long as she's getting attention, I think, you know, she's doing this for the right reasons, I think. Kim Kardashian, so? She's growing up. But I still think the Kardashians are the Kardashians. They're a media sensation. And I think if she's getting media and doing good, this is great for her image.
Yeah. Is she looking for something bigger, though? Do you think she's aligning herself for perhaps a 2020 run with her husband or something else that's a little bit more selfish?
You know, I don't want to speculate on what's in someone's heart because we don't really know the reasons why she decided to do what she did. I do want to piggyback on what Al said about the idea that she got it done in 48 hours. Because it is such a vital thing that we're talking about in terms of prison reform, I don't want for an Instagram society to think that everyone is going to be able to get things done within 48 hours. I think there were extenuating circumstances. I'm very happy that she did that and appreciative that she did it, and maybe it'll shine some light. But this is not an instantaneous thing, and it definitely needs more eyeballs and more man hours.
Yes. And also, there is new reason to hope for a Roseanne spinoff right now. That's right. This is after Roseanne herself, quote, is seriously considering giving up any profit she would stand to make from the spinoff idea. That's according to Page 6. This could allow the show's other stars like Sarah Gilbert, Michael Fishman, and John Goodman to star in a new show focusing on their characters and their backstories. Would that make you reconsider watching the show?
Yeah, I think everyone. I think it would for everyone, because the whole thing, even when this first broke, we always talked, well, what if they just do a spinoff and Roseanne's not part of it, but she's still going to get paid, so why do that? If she's forfeiting her money, her share, and letting them go on, that's the right thing to do.
Actually makes me look differently at Roseanne.
It does, in a good way.
I have empathy for her now. If this is her going to be following through saying, I'm going to wash my hands of this and I'm going to give this to you and I'm going to miss out on millions and millions of dollars, it makes me feel bad for her.
It doesn't make me feel bad for her. It makes me excited for her, because that means that she is taking responsibility and ownership over something that she did. You have to put your money where your mouth is. If you truly are trying to atone for something, take the responsibility. It's not as complicated anymore. Give the people what they deserved and remove yourself from it. I'm excited for her.
Can I ask you guys a television question, though? Can we take Archie Bunker off of All the Family and still have the same show? I mean, would you watch the show with just those characters? I mean,
yeah, you're right.
He was the catalyst for conversation, and even though, like, the things he was saying, especially nowadays, would be considered offensive, he needed to say that so that the other characters could bounce off of him and show him how he was wrong or how they agree with him. But if you remove that planet, there's a gravitational pull, and there's going to be a vacuum once she's removed. I just wonder how this.
It's a different time.
Yeah, and I think people will be interested to see what those characters do. I think the writing, they're going to have the best writers. I think it could be very successful if they go through with
Can I ask one more TV question?
Yes.
Why is it so hot in here?
It is warm in here.
Jeff, that's my career.
It is warm. We are live and happening right now. Wildfires are burning out of control in Colorado. Kelly Schubert has been tracking the story all week long. Kelly, what is the latest right now?
Yeah, Sam, the biggest fire we're watching at this moment is the 416 fire that's burning near Durango. Right now, firefighters are dealing with extremely dry conditions and strong wind gusts, and that's hurting them as they try to get it under control. I just checked, and so far, the 416 fire has burned almost 26,000 acres, and it's only 15% contained right now. And take a look at this satellite video we just got in showing all the smoke. Thousands of people are evacuated from their homes right now, and you can see why with multiple fires growing fast across the state. Sam?
That's so scary. Kelly will keep us up to date on
And I wasn't making a joke about the fire. I didn't know that was coming. It's just really hot in here.
It's true. Yeah, Kelly breaks things. We're live. We don't know what's coming next, and that was not intentional. And a couple's wedding photo has gone viral, speaking of the fire, after they posed in front of the 416 fire in southwest Colorado. The couple's wedding venue was placed under mandatory evacuation, but they found a new venue and posted the photo to Instagram, hoping to solicit donations for a local community relief fund. And for information on donating, head to our live streams on Facebook and YouTube.
I mean, it seems strange that they would do that with, like, a fire disaster like that, but that was their wedding day. That's something they could remember their wedding day for.
Is that what, smoke inhalation? Is that what you and Jordan want to?
They're not like there, but I think you have to almost use that moment.
This is incredibly selfless of them to push an agenda for a local relief fund and use their photo and take time out of their honeymoon to make sure that there's donations to help the people that are going to be hurt from this fire.
I would agree with you. We are so cynical.
Yeah.
When it really comes down to it, you had a couple who had planned a wedding, which is not easy to do. They invited all of their friends and family only to have it relocated at the last minute. And what they're really thinking about is trying to get donations for other people. I think that it's admirable. I think that it's very savvy in an Instagram society.
I agree.
It's like having a permanent filter on your pictures anyway. It kind of looked cool. I thought it looked nice.
All right, it has captured the attention of the country and maybe even the world. This super raccoon, dubbed the NPR raccoon, it climbed one of the tallest buildings in St. Paul, Minnesota. That's about 300 feet, people.
Look at that graphic.
Check this out. It all started on Monday. The daredevil just kept scaling the building. Someone caught a picture on the 13th floor, still going strong. Look at him. By the 23rd floor, the little guy had to take a break, take a little breather. Workers inside the building took these pictures. But don't worry, everyone. The raccoon made it to the roof. It was captured safely by wildlife management, thank God. But the NPR raccoon has reached a new level of social media fame and even has its own Twitter account, tweeting this morning, quote, "I made it. I'd like to thank God, the great people of Minnesota, and of course the Wu-Tang Clan, Wu-Tang. Now, someone come get me. I'm on the roof." I love it.
I don't know if I love it.
Why not?
I don't think we should be. from the beginning, I've always said that we're showing kids, Sam, we're telling kids that raccoons are vicious creatures, swans are vicious, all the cute animals are rabies. Stay away from these things. Do not make this a hero. That thing will claw your eyes. Badgers, they are dangerous animals, and we need to stop acting like they're not.
First of all, the raccoon's a heroine because it's a she. I know a lot of people are
How is it a hero? Because it climbed.
It's amazing that it climbed, took a nap, and nothing happened to it on 300 feet
That doesn't make you a hero because you took a nap.
Number two, Al, we built this building in its home. Okay, in its home.
How do you know? How do you? It's not in the middle of the forest. That's the city. That's all. We took over there. That's us. That's for the humans.
We took over its home.
Sam, you don't know the background on this raccoon, and I'm not prepared to do this with you on TV.
Okay.
I'm not getting involved.
We're a live show. That covers what you're talking about right now. Coming up on DBL, our very own Tori Shulman sits down with a comedy legend, how Carol Burnett forged her own path and won for female comics everywhere. And Pothole Patrol across America, the unlikely company that wants to fix your neighborhood streets. And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. Grabbing a late night drink could be a thing of the past for one city. We're sharing your comments next.
You have a lot to say about Thomas on YouTube says, I would watch the Roseanne reboot if it revolved around Jackie, Darlene, or Dan. In all honesty, Roseanne was my least favorite character. I think it's interesting, a little bit. Did you ever watch Roseanne?
I know of it, but I was slightly out of the generation that watched it.
Right.
I think. Or maybe it just wasn't as big.
Well, yeah, it's definitely very American.
I know it's
very American. Yeah.
Huge.
You know, they were talking about All in the Family, which was a smaller ensemble. There were just 4 of them. I feel like there's enough points of view in that cast of the Connor family where you really probably wouldn't miss Roseanne that much. But that's just my own opinion on that. Calvin Kime on Facebook, close the bars, stop sales early, it'll make the drunks back in the neighborhoods where the children are. That's what I think, and we were saying that, pushing it back underground into the neighborhoods.
Definitely, I think people then will be out drinking at home, drinking the streets, and also Carrie Hill says she thinks it'll hurt the restaurants and pubs greatly, she thinks.
Right.
Which I think is true. I mean, support your local businesses.
Yeah.
And also, I would much rather be sat in a professional kind of environment where there's a server who can say if you've had enough or not enough, rather than people like taking a bottle of vodka and drinking at home or outside.
Yeah, or in there, exactly. Make sure you get into an Uber or into a cab rather than getting into your car. And does any local employment in a small town need a ding? I don't really think anyone needs to.
I mean, has there been an issue there that's caused this?
That's a good question.
Like
You know, once again, we've got viewers in the St. Louis area, so we want to know.
Has something happened there that's like sparked this? Because that'll be really interesting to know what's caused this reaction.
Yes, exactly.
Something must have happened for them to feel it's an issue that needs to be taken into place.
Barbara White said on Facebook, kids shouldn't be out buying alcohol at night. Yeah, I don't know if that's the issue, but...
Yeah, but Barbara, that's like, it also affects people like yourself. So if you want to go out with your husband on a Saturday night and have a nice evening, a date night, and then you go and you're not allowed a glass of wine,
right, as an
would
adult.
that bother you as an adult?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be limited. There's a lot of sides to this issue, so keep them coming, guys, because we have a lot to say. And we'll talk more in the next break.
See you later.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. It's time for the fifth host. Now, grabbing a late night drink could be a thing of the past for residents in a St. Louis suburb. The St. Charles City Council is considering banning the sale of alcohol past 11 p.m. Restaurants say this will hurt their business, but supporters say it will make the streets safer. So DBL Nation, what do you think? Let's get right to your comments. Here's Ned's DBL take. Enough of this nanny state garbage. Serve alcohol to adults. It's on them to determine their limits. Prohibition doesn't work. What do you say to that, Al?
It doesn't. I completely agree. It doesn't work, and it didn't work. We tried this. Haven't we not learned that when you start telling adults what they can't do, they're going to immediately figure out a way around it? If anything, they're just going to create an underground kind of crime syndicate, and criminals will profit off of it. So do we want local businesses that pay taxes to profit, or do we want an underground entity? So on to you.
Nicholas writes in, I think it should be left to the business itself. Then again, it does make places more family friendly. I think that this is the objective, to make it a little bit more family friendly. You're talking about the historic district. It only affects 18 bars on Main Street.
That's a lot of bars.
But it's past 11 o'clock.
What family's out at 11?
Well, I'm saying, because generally when you're talking about the historic district downtown, I'm sure there's a lot of money in the property value, and people are sick of having drunken people all over their front yard and puking on their sidewalks. So really what they're doing is making this problem go to the town that's right next door.
How many people
They're also making
Erica,
the foot traffic go to the town next door.
And how many people really are out puking? It's not that often that you have people puking out left and right like it's an epidemic.
When you have a stretch in a town that has that many bars and everybody lets out at once at 2 o'clock in the morning, there's a lot of puke. I live downtown, okay? Let me tell you, the things that I see when I go and walk my dog at 4 o'clock in the morning, I don't even want to talk about.
I think more people puke if they're like, oh my God, it's almost 11, and then they're going to pound all their drinks and then throw up. Anyways, here's Calvin's DBL take. Closing the bars and stopping sales early will make the drunks back into the neighborhoods where the children are. Well, I think he meant like back into the neighborhood. Yes. You know what? I don't know. I'm older now. I have kids. I don't care if you close the bar at 11. I'm asleep.
I don't want to live in a city where the bars close at 11. What's this, Footloose? Is there going to be no dancing next?
Here's the problem, though. That's a funny point. I'm afraid people are going to go to the closest nearby neighborhood or the nearby town, drink there, and then they have to drink and drive on the way back. So it's not going to solve the problem. I think it's just going to cause more accidents, and that's not good. We are live. Brett Forrest with news at the moment.
Thank you, Sam. We are just hours away from kickoff of the 2018 World Cup in Russia. But the U.S. isn't even in it, so I have some exciting news. The World Cup is coming back here. FIFA just voted today approving a joint bid between the U.S., Canada, and Mexico to host the 2026 World Cup, beating out Morocco. The field will expand from 32 to 48 teams, and 60 of the 80 games will be held in the U.S., while Canada and Mexico have 10 each. The world's biggest sporting event was last held here in 1994. And if you're curious about this picture behind me, I was at the World Cup in 2010 in South Africa. I just wanted to brag a little bit. It is a great time, so get excited for it to come back here.
You know what else you should brag about?
What?
Your cute little new haircut.
Stop it. I'm not going to brag about this.
Looks good.
Thank you, though.
Yep, looks good. All right, looking for a new job or just need to dust off the old resume? Well, guest co-host Stephanie Jones has some tips for people of any age, and they are coming in hot.
So guys, whether you're fresh out of college or you just haven't updated your resume in a while, you need to listen up because Moneyish.com has got some helpful advice. So first, get out the old work experience. Edit your resume to only include the most relevant work from the past 10 years. Anything else is just outdated, so get rid. Next, remove your GPA. If you're long out of college, there's no need to include it. It's more about the degree itself, not your grades. And then finally, get rid of that generic line, references available upon request. It's outdated and meaningless, and if the employee wants one, they're gonna ask for it. The employer, not the employee. And then DBL Nation, do you have any clever resume tips? Let us know. We'd want to hear from you. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. Super helpful. We are live, and I'm being told right now that Kim Kardashian has just landed in Memphis. We will keep you guys all up to date on those details. And also, we just found out who bit Beyonce.
What?
Oh, I can't wait. Plus, basketball great LeBron James opens up about his greatest dream and why it could come true. And up next, a fan favorite. That's right. Al Jackson sounds off on the craziest viral videos and trends he can find. Don't go away.
Not many people are reporting this now, but Kim has landed in
Not
Memphis.
many people are reporting this at all because we are live and we follow the stories.
Yeah, we have an inside scoop in Memphis. I'm from Memphis.
Oh,
so
wow.
I got it. Yeah, so my friend who works at a news station there, she just confirmed that she has landed. They don't know anything else. They're on their way, obviously, to whatever airport she landed at. It doesn't sound like she landed at the main airport, so it sounds like she may have landed in Millington, which is
for private planes.
Exactly.
But okay, Kelly will keep us up to date
I'm
on
watching.
all of that. And then we also found out who bit Beyonce. I'm so excited to find out.
Finally, after many months of wondering.
It's kept me up. It's kept me up at night. I've been wondering.
I mean, who was it? Who was it? And now we know. And and it's going to be every bit as...
And Brett Forrest got a haircut.
Yes,
It looks like you did too.
I did get a haircut,
You
but
look
mine's
cute.
not as super cool as Brett's. Brett's has got a fighting haircut. It's like it's ready
Looks
for
good.
his
Oh,
boss.
he's ready.
It's
He's ready.
intimidating.
He's got a fade
It's
and everything.
intimidating.
Yeah.
So,
And a lot of people are
I
making
love
fun of my
this.
dress.
No, I love it. It's very mid-century.
Alan Jefferson, it looks like I should bake a pie.
I like it.
I like it too.
I like it.
I think it's an
super
updated
cute.
version
Yeah.
of a mid-century
Yeah, it's
dress.
super cute. It's
Yeah.
very Betty Draper.
Yeah.
I like it. So listen, guys, that's the beauty of the show is that we're live. So, as the plane lands, as she gets off, as the meeting begins, we can tell you what's happening as it happens.
In real time.
That's what the beauty of this show is. So if you guys have any questions about this Memphis meeting.
And
or
if you're in Memphis,
means.
maybe you work at the airport, who knows, you have some inside details for us, let us know.
We always count on the DBL Nation to give us the inside track. You're all over the country, so let us know what you know, okay? We'll report it, and we'll give you credit. That's the great part. Bye.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Is that the show?
Yeah,
Ah, cool.
I guess so. Let's just call it that for the rest of the show.
All right, fine. Daily Blast Live. It's time now for Al Sounds Off, when comedian Al Jackson goes off on the wildest videos he can find. All right, guys, last night on Crisley Knows Best, Chase escorts Grandma Faye to a senior dance, and she shows the young pup she's still got a few tricks up her sleeve. Al, enjoy.
Well, Nanny, I'm sorry they didn't have a bar.
Honey, this ain't my first rodeo.
Okay. Right from the wrist. Didn't even take it off the wrist.
That's right, Jeff. This is my favorite kind of granny. Some grannies turn their hearing aids up, and some grannies turn it all the way up.
I like it.
That's my kind of granny now. I bought the booze bag.
That's a stylish booze bag,
Jeff, is this a little much? Should we just cut the segment and drink, or should we keep going?
I guess we got to keep going, man.
Fine, all right.
All right.
Let's go to the next.
Stepping in gum, Al, is the worst. Enjoy that. Well, thanks to this new product, our streets might be a little less sticky. Enjoy.
Gum. We all love it, we all chew it, and we all need to get rid of it. We have started looking for a way to turn what appears to be something useless into something useful. The first shoe ever made from recycled gum.
Yeah, Jeff, this is, environmentally helpful and disgusting.
Yeah, it is.
This gum shoe actually helps you avoid dates. It's really good. Why are we making shoes out of things we're meant to avoid on the street? Like, are you wearing poop slippers right now? Because I smell something.
Oh my God. I might be.
All right.
Might be. All right.
That was good with an oh my gosh, America. Let's go to the last one.
All right, today's viral video is of a photo shoot that reminds me of that children's game, Al, Duck, Duck, Goose.
What?
But let's call this one Pick, Pick, Swan.
Jeff, you know how I feel about swans. It's just weird to get attacked by something this beautiful. It's like getting beat up by a sunset. But, Sam, I'm going to tell you, these birds are overrated. They're mean, and just because they're beautiful doesn't mean they get a pass, all right?
I hear you.
Because of that, I say, sorry, Sam, down with the swans and down with the raccoons. That's Al Sounds Off.
All right,
yeah, I said it.
And that's comedian Al Jackson right there. We are live, and this next story has all of you talking. Pothole problems up and down American streets, but an unlikely company is helping out. Here's a hint. Can they fix a pothole in less than 30 minutes? And bad bedtime habits that could be fouling up your entire day. Those stories and more next.
Promotional consideration is brought to you.
Hey guys, happy Wednesday. My name's Lex. I'm here with the digital team giving you the top trending stories during the breaks. Right now, trending on Hello Giggles, Tina Fey thinks Liz Lemon and Leslie Knope should have a spin-off series. And it's like Christmas came early is what they're saying. I'm super excited. I love crossover shows. The New Girl, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, killed it. Let us know in the comment section which crossover is your favorite. Basically, Tina Fey is saying that she doesn't want to continue to do and reboot 30 Rock, and Leslie Knope or Amy Poehler is looking to revamp Parks and Recreation, and they're thinking maybe they'll just do a crossover. They said this on at the Tonys just over the weekend, so It seems awesome. I'm rooting for it. I love both of those shows. I think it's fabulous, and people are trying to figure out how they would meet in real life. So let us know how you think the shows would cross over, and if you'd like it. Kelly's got more.
I'm rooting for that crossover. All right, we're going to switch gears a little bit. If you are a California resident or planning on being a California resident, there may be a vote coming up that could impact how you really define your state. So it has just been passed, or I guess qualified is the way to put it, that California may be split into 3 states. Now it would be Northern California, Southern California, and New California. And you can see that New California would encompass about the Bay Area down to Los Angeles, which is typically associated with the most high-priced, most luxurious area of California. Now this will be on the ballot in November. You can vote if you are a California resident about this split, but it has people very divisive online. I would sincerely suggest if you're a resident there or want to be a resident, go visit. Sorry. Yeah, so this is kind of a big deal. DBL Nation, please write in. How do you feel about this? And let us know. Keep talking to us throughout the show.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Do you ever have those days when you're tired, cranky, and no amount of coffee will help? This one does. And there could be good reason. Guest co-host and beauty expert Stephanie Jones has this story coming in hot.
Hey guys, a trending Huffington Post article breaks down the most common bedtime habits that could be ruining your whole day. And a few of them are pretty surprising, so take a look.
I love to unwind with a glass of wine. Much needed, because why not? Because I also hope that I can sleep as good as Sophie girl. That's sleeping like a baby right there.
Whew. Time for my midnight workout. Let's get started. 1001, 1002, 1003.
So proper skincare routines at night are good for your complexion and also your mental health, which means no quick makeup wipes. I'm the biggest culprit of that. And Sam, alcohol affects your sleep cycle and it can leave you tossing and turning all night. Have some milk instead, like little Sophie. And Al, whilst you're definitely making those gains on rep 1000 or maybe just 2, late night workouts keep our bodies awake and active, which is not ideal for getting a good sleep. So here's to getting a good rest, DBL Nation.
Yeah.
All right. That's good, I know.
Well, you've talked to me about my sleep before. Like you said, I told you I was getting 8.5 hours and I feel more tired. And you were like, Mark.
You're doing too much.
Yeah, you said Mark only gets 6, so I think I'm getting back on that.
Okay. Here's what's coming up next on DBL. How weird.
A controversial race to the finish. Should teens born male be allowed to compete on the girls' team? Blast from the past. How John Travolta is celebrating 40 years since Saturday Night Fever. And a woman who needs no introduction, Carol Burnett, in her own words, with our very own Tori Shulman. More Daily Blast Live is next.
I love you, Grease. One of my favorite things to do, actually I've never done it, but one of the things
Grease
I hope
hands?
to do is to go to the Grease sing-along at the Hollywood Bowl, where they play the movie and everyone in the audience gets to sing along. How fun would that be? That would be so fun. I met a girl.
That would be my worst nightmare.
Crazy for me.
Literally. Besides getting a phone call from the State Patrol at 3 o'clock in the morning. That would be my fear.
Really? You would love
Being
it.
in the Hollywood Bowl with 30,000 people singing, I would have no interest.
Would you like it?
Yeah, I don't like things that are planned. Like if it broke out into song, I think it'd be awesome. But to go there and be like, we gotta sing Grease
No, you
Lightning.
don't. You don't have to sing.
You know what I mean? Like my throat hurts.
Go Grease Lightning.
Eric, are you in a Grease at all?
Grease lightning, go, grease lightning.
Have you ever been to a wedding?
Yeah.
They don't play that at the wedding?
Grease lightning?
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta play that at a wedding.
They play the chicken dance. They play the Cupid Shuffle. Thank you.
I planned my whole playlist so those songs didn't play.
You didn't do any of those fun
Nope,
ones?
my husband and I planned the coolest playlist so we didn't have to do like YMCA.
You're the one who wants to go to 30,000 sing-along.
Different for Grease.
You didn't play any Grease?
We did play Grease.
Oh, there you go. Summer Love.
Their family doesn't know your playlist.
Everybody did. We picked cool ones. Everybody did.
What's one song?
We did. We had everything cool from like Marilyn Manson to like the Cars to I don't remember.
I don't know if the man really got married.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. We are live, and right now, this story has many of you, DBL Nation, fired up. 2 transgender teens are winning race after race at a Connecticut high school. They were born male, but now identify as females, and they're breaking records left and right, coming in first and second place. But now parents and students are speaking out, saying it's not fair to let these teens compete with the rest of the girls' team. This is a tough one for me. I'm a former student athlete. I am also, I would like to think, a huge activist when it comes to the LGBTQ.
You are. You don't think you are.
What do you think about that? Thank you. What do you think about that?
This is a tough one because, I mean, there's a biological and a sociological aspect to this. I mean, biologically, when you're growing up as a boy, especially when you're undergoing puberty, I mean, you're getting that bone structure and that musculature you're going to have for the rest of your life. And even if you do start to transition into estrogen as you transition into being a female, those muscles are still there and developed, and it is going to give you an advantage. But sociologically, as a person that has a very close family member to myself that is transgendered, I mean, me telling him that he couldn't compete would break my heart, and that's not fair. So what do you do? But it's tough.
It's just, it's not fair. That's what it is.
It's not fair. You're
that's why there's the NBA and the WNBA. Because and nobody wants to hear this, but men are better athletes, and it's not fair if a man is competing against a woman. If it was fair, there would be the NBA. It wouldn't be the WNBA. It'd just be one. So
what do you do?
Then you have to organize, like if someone's transgender, maybe have like, you know, races for them specifically. You know what I mean?
You know, I don't think
that sound insensitive.
I don't think separate is equal ever when it really comes down to it. I think that you're just being honest. I don't think
that's insensitive at all.
I think that what we're saying is, first of all, men aren't necessarily better athletes. They're just have more muscle genetically. But I really fear for this.
Which makes them better athletes, but keep going.
I think that we're looking at this wrong. If I had a child who was competing against someone who was transgendered and was born male but competing against females, I would say that this is a really incredible lesson in life, because life isn't fair, and there's always going to be somebody who is better than you, stronger than you, prettier than you, and you just kind of have to get used to this, and this is a really great lesson. I think that what they really should be doing is focusing on trying to achieve that level of athleticism. Maybe they'll never get there because genetically they're not predisposed to do that, but in order to try, that might make them a far more superior athlete by having that competition in the long run.
Amen. I don't think discrimination's the answer.
Not at all. But what if somebody says, I need this, this is the only way I can go to college is on a track scholarship. I've known this since the 5th grade, and I've been working. I'm up to states, and I lost to going to state because of somebody that was transgender.
Or lost out on your scholarship. That's updating policy then, which is a conversation, the reason why there's a need for this conversation.
Definitely, yeah.
Big time. And we want DBL Nation to chime in, please. We love hearing what you have to say. An incredible moment from last night's America's Got Talent is going viral. In it, a shy 13-year-old girl unleashes a killer voice. Take a look.
How are you?
A little bit nervous.
And I'm guessing you're going to be singing for us?
Yeah.
Listen, don't be nervous.
Now, Courtney Hadwin won Howie's Golden Buzzer, but social media is a little skeptical of her shy girl act today. She's been performing around her native UK for years. She was even the runner-up on The Voice Kids in England last year. So perhaps this is part of her act, but clearly, in my opinion, this is an act.
But It's entertainment. That was her act. She went up there to go state. It's a way to get more audience members involved with you. I mean, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, this is stage." There's multiple people who are on the talk. We're also on the, or not talk. What am I talking about? The Voice, also on America's Got Talent, also on American Idol. This is part of her act. We're here to be entertained. She's entertaining us.
Yeah, and I liked seeing that juxtaposition of shy to like bold.
I didn't.
Erica's gonna get her.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I think that we are looking at this all wrong. She's from the UK. She has a Spice Girl talking to her. I'd be nervous too.
Oh, Erica. No, this girl is a see. Look, we've been in Hollywood for at least 10 years, and we know we've worked on shoots with kids. They are just as seasoned, if not more than us. They go on a ton of auditions, and this is what I'm saying. This is why, like, you guys got on me a couple months ago when we were talking, when I was saying I didn't think kids should be able to compete with adults on shows like this. It's because they play up their cuteness. That is an act, and that's what. Because there's something really vile about a child playing up their cuteness. Playing up their cuteness.
There's something vile about someone using their strength in order to propel their career.
To unfairly give them an advantage.
So stop being funny,
To
Al.
unfairly give them an advantage. Okay, if I go out there and I'd be like, I'm sorry, guys, I just learned to speak a week ago, so I'm just gonna do my stand-up act. I'm right there. They're gonna be like, oh, this is inspirational. It's not. She's an actor, and she used that to her advantage, and I think it's wrong.
To entertain
we all use things to our advantage.
Yeah.
That's called the way we roll.
All right.
All right, we are live. Raquel Villanueva has news at this moment.
Thanks, Sam. Right now, if you look at my screen here, Google searches for Sanaa Lathan are spiking because people are wondering who this person even is. Now, she's the actress who's been outed for allegedly biting Beyonce in the face at a party. Now, Tiffany Haddish just seemed to confirm this news in an interview out today in The Hollywood Reporter. She says the actress's family was upset that she told the now infamous story, but Tiffany insists she wasn't trying to ruin any careers, and that's why she originally left out Sanaa's name.
So, given that Tiffany's spilling the beans, is she now not invited to other Hollywood parties?
Well, she thought she'd be banned, but actually she gets invited to more parties now, because I think people want those stories to be told.
I do too. She's the eyes and ears.
Wait a minute.
She's the narc.
I don't want that at my party.
The original rumor was that it was Sanaa, and she said it wasn't.
Maybe because Sanaa called her and said, yo, come on, don't do that to me. And then now she's letting the cat out of the bag.
Why doesn't Sanaa just bite me? I'm fine with that. She's gorgeous.
I know, she is.
Al made it weird.
Yeah, she really is.
Al just made it very weird. You might think that LeBron James has achieved every goal you could think of, but there's one that he says would be the greatest of all, to play on the same NBA court as his son, LeBron Jr. His eldest son turns 14 this fall and starts high school. So that would mean that dad has to stay in the game for at least another 4 years to meet his son on the court. And while King James is already 33, hey, it's not impossible. They could definitely be playing in the NBA.
Yeah.
Is his son good?
His son goes by Bronny. If you want to look him up on YouTube, he's amazing. He plays just like his dad. He's already bigger than the other kids on the court. I mean, he's been trained by the best basketball player that's ever lived. Yeah. So I mean, you can just I know that was a shot at both of you guys. But yeah, look him up on YouTube. He's amazing. And we've seen this before. It was in baseball with Ken Griffey Jr. and Ken Griffey Sr., but they played on the same team.
Actually, there was a shot fired, but you completely missed, because the real story was the fact that Jordan's sons were not able to get into the NBA.
Yeah,
that's right. Well,
there's a ton of I'm old. I'm just going to say that. I'm getting older. But all the players that were like famous when I was growing up, their sons are like famous. Like all the baseball players. You're not into this story?
No, it's really weird when you watch it. It's their junior.
It's genetic lottery for sure.
It's true. My dad was a fast swimmer. not to make
well, look,
me.
the Golden State Warriors, which I hate to say, I mean, they're two of their starting five. Klay Thompson's dad was Michael Thompson, that played on the Showtime Lakers, and Steph Curry's dad was Del Curry, that played on the Hornets.
Hey. I'm going to look it up at the break.
Thank you for that history lesson, folks. All right, we all know the new Duchess of Sussex had that Markle sparkle, but does she deserve an Emmy? Britain's newest royal could be in the running for a nomination for her role as Rachel Zane on Suits. Now, she's never won any major award for that role in the 7 seasons she was on the show, so we got to ask, would she even be considered for an Emmy if it weren't for her to marry?
No.
I called this.
I knew this was going to happen. It's brilliant for the Emmys because then it's the whole thing of, will she attend, will she not attend?
And we'll watch.
Yes, exactly. I knew this was going to happen regardless of her performance because it's a brilliant PR move.
All right, and if you think Megan's acting performance is a little robotic, as some people were saying, you might be right. Madame Tussauds released this creepy clip of their new live figures. We think they're actors wearing masks, but you can never be too sure.
What if you were stuck in there at night?
That is bizarre.
How are they moving like that?
I would love to be stuck in there.
What?
Oh,
I would jump through the wall like a cartoon.
That is really cool. All right.
Is that cool or creepy?
That's creepy.
Weird. I like creepy.
Did you see that elevator?
I like
If you were in an elevator with whatever that was, no.
I would love
They were moving like that girl from The Ring. You ever see that movie? Yeah, it's very cool.
Oh, wait, what's this one?
That's The Ring.
That's
when it comes out of the TV.
That's The Ring?
Yeah, there was The Ring and then there was the other one.
Oh, what was the other one?
Sam, I don't think.
guys.
Wait till this ends. Show the audience The Ring.
The Grudge. The Grudge. Yeah, that.
Wow.
That's it, right?
It feels like Friday. That was really good.
That was good. Now it's time for our top feel-good stories of the day. Stephanie, you have all the videos that are making TBL Nation smile.
So you can tell by the way he uses his walk, he's a pizza man. No time to talk. I'm not going to say because I'm awful, but I'm sure you'll get it. That's right. John Travolta returned to the site of the most famous pizza slice ever, Lenny's Pizzeria in Brooklyn, where he filmed the iconic opening sequence of Saturday Night Fever back in 1977. He's still making that white disco suit look good. Just don't get any sauce on it, John. And persistence pays off. Michael Tran from Idaho, just won $2 million in the Powerball. He played the same numbers for 18 years and finally won. And we're loving this video. That's 19-year-old Carlos Nieha graduating for high school in Midland, Texas. He has Down syndrome, but clearly nothing can hold him back. In fact, his name is Mr. Joyous, and we can clearly see why. So congratulations, Carlos! Coming up on Daily Blast Live, we are live and we just got a video of Kim K meeting with Alice Johnson. This story is breaking right now. Plus, a feature film is being made about a small town football team with some big Hollywood actors. It's our DBL Spotlight. And don't go anywhere because Tori Shulman goes one-on-one with comedy icon Carol Burnett. It's an interview you do not want to miss.
We are going to be doing bobbing for apples. You have 1 minute. We're going to do it at the same time. Oh no, my face is way too pretty.
We're going to do a dramatic reading now from Night Watch.
Night shift.
Right.
Bleeding in the left lower quadrant.
Tell CAT scan we're coming as soon as he's tuned.
I'm losing his pulse. Okay, so we're just doing. So you hear everyone? Don't open it. Don't, for God's sake, save the children.
New sunscreen. It's Sea Star Sparkle. It's Sproof 50, so you're actually getting some protection from the sun.
SPF, by the way.
Okay, I say Sproof.
So today we're playing Big Mouth. Jeff and Tori each have a minute to guess trending headlines they can give to the other player.
You're freaking me out. Bill, you lost on your own question.
Yeah, I can't even remember my own dialogue.
Bill came in second.
Tori's gonna win. Similar.
Oh, it's big, guys.
You have wrapped in your hand.
That is a pretty.
It looks just
big.
like that.
It does. It does. This is how it's done right here.
Hey everybody, it's Samantha Harris. Welcome to Dancing with the Hosts. That's right.
Puppies!
So why don't you go to the moon?
We watch me on Blind Date on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's there. Excuse me, I'm gonna go find that.
We found the clip that you. So embarrassing.
I'd make my jazz. So every time you walk
Start
in,
the date with Jordan bronze jazz hands.
Everybody thought I don't know comics. Really ticks me off.
Favorite thing ever is emoji. Headline, today's headline with emojis. Jeff and I try to figure it out. Okay, Nestle paid for the rights to sell Starbucks. Sell Starbucks!
No, I want nothing to do with this, so I'm leaving.
We want to make sure you guys are informed because what is information? Power! And knowledge!
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. In today's Chatting with the Stars, Tori Schulman gets the chance of a lifetime to go one-on-one with one of the greatest comics of all time, Carol Burnett.
In 1967, you were given the Carol Burnett show, and it was a woman in a variety show.
Yes.
Nowadays, that's sort of normal. Amy Schumer's, we see that. Yeah. You were sort of the first.
Well, I wasn't the first in variety. Dinah Shore was, but it was a musical variety show. I was the first in a comedy variety show.
Did you feel a special sense of responsibility as a woman?
No.
Or did that not even come into it?
It never occurred to me because it was all I knew, because I had started out on the Gary Moore show, and I was the second banana on that show. I was given all kinds of different characters, wonderful sketches to do. The junior writer on the Gary Moore show was Neil Simon.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we called him Doc Simon. So when I had this wonderful caveat in a contract with CBS, I said, no, I want to do an hour variety show. And they had to put it on for 30 shows. They wanted me to do a sitcom, and I said, I don't want to do the same person week after week. I want to put on wigs and black out my teeth and do pratfalls and have music and guest stars.
How do you feel about blue comedy, edgy comedy?
Blue and edgy is okay if it's clever. When it's gratuitous, I go, I'm bored. I tune out because I'm sick of having people, you know, talk about their bodily parts. You know, I don't need to hear that unless it really makes sense.
Speaking about Samantha Bee apologized recently, I want to know how you feel about comics apologizing.
If they've crossed a line and if it's, you know, hurting people, and it's hurting them, I think an apology is in order.
Now, you have a new Netflix show that I'm so excited, A Little Help with Carol Burnett. How do you stay relevant? You're still doing this show live with no safety net, no plans. How are you staying relevant?
By doing this kind of show, you know, and coming out and doing Q&A, and not having any plants in the audience so that it keeps the old gray matter ticking. So you have to be focused. You have to be in the now. I can't be up on stage thinking about what I did yesterday or what I'm going to do tomorrow.
I read that you do the New York Times crossword puzzle every day. Me too.
Yeah, but I'm peachy keen Monday through Wednesday.
Forget it, Thursday,
Thursday, Friday. Sunday, sometimes
I like
I'm a little better.
Me too.
You know?
But that's Saturday. I don't even know what you're asking.
Forget it.
Move on, Will Shorts. We don't know what you're doing.
Wow, and part 2 of Tori's exclusive interview with Carol Burnett airs tomorrow. Here's a sneak peek.
1981, you won a very high-profile case against a publication. In this age of fake news, do you think it's easier to fight for the truth in media or harder?
You know,
Wow. I can't wait to see. I just want to see all of it right now.
Right.
She's such an incredible woman. She has seen it all, done it all, and she's still relevant today.
I know. I mean, that was a great interview by Tori. She was super excited to do that interview. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely her idol, and you would never know it. She seems very calm and confident, Tori.
And stay tuned for tomorrow because something special happens.
Yes, can't wait. Well done, Tori.
Can't wait.
We miss you, girl.
And during the commercial break, check out our Facebook stream for some shocking Carol Burnett facts you just have to see. We are live. Kelly Schubert has news at the moment.
Yeah, just into the Daily Blast live studio, Kim Kardashian West has just arrived in Memphis to meet Alice Johnson. Here's a look at the video coming from local station there in Memphis, Fox 31. You can see Kim walking up to the door with her camera crews, and once the door opens, watch. If you look closely, you can see Alice there. She gives her a big hug. She's very excited to see her. Of course, President Trump granted Alice clemency last week after Kim went into the White House and fought for her to be released from prison. Sam?
Wow, thank you so much, Kelly. What's next for them?
They're actually flying to New York. We don't know what time that's happening, but they're going to be flying to New York, and they will be on the Today Show tomorrow together.
Together?
Yep.
Thank you for that information. We are live. Hollywood is all about remakes, and this one will have you feeling the magic of Disney. Guest co-host Stephanie Jones has this story coming in hot.
So the trailer for the live-action film Dumbo has just been released. Colin Farrell, Danny DeVito, Michael Keaton and Eva Green star in this highly anticipated remake. And here's a first look at the trailer.
We're all family here, no matter how small. Here, Dumbo. Show 'em.
I'm so excited!
comes to theatres March 2019, so who's going to come with me? Let's go to Dumbo Day.
I'm going.
I'm so excited, but I just get so sad for Dumbo.
It's a fictional character.
I know, but when come on, I'm not the only person that's seen Dumbo and got emotional when they see Dumbo separated from its mother. Am I really?
Yes. It's not like Bambi.
Well, I cried in Bambi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're sad. Thanks, Sam.
Yeah.
Coming up on DBL.
Thanks for ruining Dumbo.
We speak with the man whose time as a Texas football team chaplain is being turned into a movie, and his character is played by Mel Gibson's son.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Today we are shining the DBL spotlight on faith and football. A small town's team's path to the championship game is headed to the silver screen. Take a look.
Brothers Keeper, the book about the inspiring 2009 Abilene High School State football champs, is hitting the big screen.
Brothers Keeper is more than a movie, it's a movement that the world needs to see.
Actor Lawrence Fishburne stars in the movie about a Texas team that overcame obstacles by putting their brothers first. Team chaplain Chad Mitchell joined the team in 2001 and co-wrote Brothers Keeper. He wanted the players to have guidance and a mentor, something he felt he didn't have, which led him down a troubled path. Mel Gibson's son Milo plays Chaplain Chad. The movie is filming now and premieres in hometown Abilene this fall.
And Chaplain Chad himself joins us now. Chad, what's the meaning behind the title Brothers Keeper?
It came from the Bible, just about being your brother's keeper, about being accountable to one another, about loving your brother regardless of where they come from, and just looking out for their best interests.
I love that. And how has the community of Abilene responded to making this movie in such a small town?
You know, it's been incredible to watch the support, but it's a long process, and to see the community come together once again and relive this magical journey, and also learn a lot of the backstories that they did here in 2009. It's going to be absolutely incredible.
And speaking of the movie business, Chad, there are some Hollywood heavy hitters in this movie. What has your experience with Lawrence Fishburne and Milo Gibson been like?
They're both incredible people. And to hear those guys, people you look up to, say they're a part of this movie because they honestly believe in the story. It truly blesses me to hear that and see that they're inspired by the story as well.
As you said, Milo plays you in the movie. What similarities? Did you guys share any similarities?
It's kind of a funny story. I got to the hotel in Minnesota. I just met him, and he's like, hey, let's go have dinner. And so we both went into the hotel to our room to change and came out. And we were actually dressed alike. And so it's kind of funny. Obviously, as he hears more of my story, I'm able to actually hear some of his as well. And I feel like I got a friend out of this as well. And he's an incredible human being.
Well, Chad, you're doing a great thing, man. This looks like an incredible movie. We want to thank you so much for joining us right here on Daily Blast Live. And we look forward to seeing Brothers Keeper hitting theaters this fall.
Thanks so much.
Pretty cool story.
Unbelievable.
Awesome. Yeah.
I love a good football movie.
Right?
I'm a sucker for one.
Me too. I love it.
Real quick, favorite football movie?
Ooh,
my favorite. Go.
Songs.
Brian's
song.
Oh my
That's
God,
so sad.
Sad. That's the saddest.
And, well, Varsity Blues and Remember the Titans are also up there.
Left side.
Strong side.
That's right.
Friday Night Lights was the best TV show. Yeah.
Oh, I still haven't seen it.
I got the box set.
Okay.
No one asked me, but I'm going with the program.
Ooh, yes. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
All right, what's up, guys? Brett Forrest here in the DBL Digital Hub. Angelica and Raquel are working away on projects, so I will have the pleasure of talking to you guys. I have a pretty cool story. It's about the World Cup. I love the World Cup. It kicks off tomorrow in Russia. But if you know anything about it, they always have to modify their stadiums or build completely new ones just to be able to host matches. And there's kind of a funny, slightly scary stadium situation in Russia right now. So in order to, so they have to have a stadium capacity of 35,000, and in order for this stadium to reach that capacity, they built these extra bleachers on scaffolding. Now, they did sell us tickets. This is real. Just, would you even consider sitting there? It looks frightening to me.
Did you go in close on this, Chris?
He's got it, bro.
Insane.
Yeah, it's so it's pretty
Russian
crazy.
scaffolding is known to be very secure, though.
I am Rita. Sorry, someone's talking in my ear right now. So yeah, so that's just one of the many changes they had to make in Russia for the World Cup stadiums.
Yeah, FIFA is, they got a lot going on over there. We'll talk more about that and about Brett's fight in the next couple of breaks, so stay with us, okay? Thanks.
Tomorrow.
Welcome back to DBL. We have a lot of comments in regard to Kim Kardashian. Jacqueline Kellerman on Twitter, do not care about Kim Kardashian. Do not support the grandma's release. It's all a publicity stunt. Do the crime, do the time. And Liz Liu on Facebook, we have another side to that. Finally, she uses her spotlight for good. Yeah. I have to agree with the latter comment, Liz Liu. She's doing a wonderful thing here.
I think Jeff and I kind of agreed she did the time. She did 22 years of her life. I mean, yeah. It's enough.
But we love the comments.
Yes,
absolutely.
Love to hear from you.
We need the comments. Thank y'all.
And the stories never stop. We don't either. We're live on YouTube and Facebook. Keep the conversation going. Happy Hump Day, everybody.
I don't think transgender's allowed in the Olympics, right? But wasn't there some weightlifter that was transgender?
Yeah, I can't believe that. I have to believe that there's. But this is. We'll look into it. But I just thought that was a really smart, sensible way of solving that problem.
I'm not sure what the Olympic rule is. Do you think it's fair for transgender that are male that are now female to compete?
No, I don't think it's equal.
Yeah, I mean.
They're allowed to compete in the.
They're allowed in the Olympics? Really?
Against the gender that they are.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
I have new too.
Well, you know,
Page 2.
it's interesting because the other problem is
yeah.
it's like, what about people with
got a
prosthetics?
system.
Now they're saying there's a lot of people, runners and stuff, that actually there's some runners that participate and they
their legs don't get as
yeah,
tired.
it's
There's
different.
that one guy who ran like 30 marathons in 30 days.
Yeah.
And I mean,
you
it's
know,
an incredible feat. I'm not taking
No,
away
of
from that.
course
Yeah.
not. Of course not. But is it all equal, I guess, is
Right.
the question. And, you know, in this day and age where they're so concerned about juicing and other things in the Olympics to give someone an edge, you would think that might play a role, is the muscle mass. Although,
Right. I mean, it has to. I mean, it definitely
We're
plays a
talking
role.
about physical acts.
Yeah.
Here. I mean, this is not emotional. Obviously, if anything, I side with the transgender athletes. I have a personal relationship, and I'm very involved with that community. But I mean, if we're just talking about sheer muscle mass, I mean, it's unfair.
I think something to look at, though, especially in teens in this day of age, is a lot of teens who are trans are blocking their hormones.
well, I was just going to say, if you're changing the chemical balance of your body, the muscle mass is going away.
Right.
Yeah.
The puberty is, they're almost not going through the same puberty, so they're not building that muscle at all.
That a normal male.
Or sometimes they're already building more of a feminine body at that point, so they're not actually...
And that's why there's more of a push to get that done sooner. Yep.
Today on Daily Blast Live, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's nasty custody battle. Could she actually lose her kids? Tori Shulman goes one-on-one with Carol Burnett.
I want to put on wigs and black out my teeth and do pratfalls and
The comedy legend on doing things her way. And talk about a rise to the top. Meet the world's most famous raccoon. Daily Blast Live starts right now.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Wednesday, June 13th, and we are halfway to the weekend.
Yes.
Almost there.
But I feel like that means you want to get away from us. I don't want the weekend to come. That means no Sammy.
Oh, ow, that makes me so happy.
For real.
Love each other. Hey, that was our cheese ball moment for the show. All right, we are live and happening right now. Kim Kardashian West just arrived, just now, arrived in Memphis to meet Alice Johnson. As you can see in this video, just into the studio from Fox 13 in Memphis, Kim Kardashian walking into this house to meet Johnson for the first time face-to-face, and reports are that there was a joyous scream heard from inside the house. If you look closely, you can see their hug. Wow. And Johnson was freed by President Trump, who commuted her life sentence after this meeting with Kim Kardashian on May 30th. So is this a new direction for the reality star, activism?
You know, I don't know if it's a new direction. I think that it might be, she might have a more intentional role in her life and how she's utilizing her platform, which I completely commend her for doing so. I hope that this is going to spotlight prison reform as opposed to be something that's about the brand. But I really believe that you can't know what's in someone's heart. So regardless, a great thing happened, and she should be very proud of herself.
I'm proud of Kim Kardashian for this. Trust me, the Kardashians are a media machine. They know what they're doing. You saw they were probably filming that for an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. So, I mean, I love what she's doing. She's using her celebrity for good. Maybe the first meeting without the cameras.
I don't know, because then it makes us talk about it. It makes us talk about prison reform, and I'm so happy that we're talking about Kim Kardashian and prison reform as opposed to last year when we were talking about Kim Kardashian and her selfie book.
Right.
So this is awesome.
But does it make,
kudos to her.
Does it make you think it's fully her heart, or is she also doing it for the media attention?
She also almost lost her life in that the burglary. She was held at gunpoint in Paris. Maybe that changed her.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I think what's going to change Kim is going into a black woman in the South's house. That is the best experience anybody can have. First of all, Kim had food before she sat down, and yeah, so it's just the best. I miss my Southern knots. But you know, being completely serious, I think that everybody's like this for publicity. She has 100 million followers. Her show's in the 11th season. She has more money than she could spend in 100 lifetimes. She doesn't need publicity. We know her name right now, and she doesn't have to do this. That counts. I think in my book. That counts in my book.
I think they need the celebrity. I really do.
They're gonna be celebrities no matter what.
DBL Nation, you tell us.
They're as famous as you can get.
DBL Nation, you tell us, do you think that they're doing it for the celebrity? And if you found out that there were camera crews for Keeping Up with the Kardashians there, would you change your mind? We want to hear from you. We are live, Raquel Villanueva with news at this moment.
Right now, we are learning President Donald Trump has been nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. Norwegian lawmakers gave him the nod after the agreement reached with Kim Jong-un this week at the North Korea summit in Singapore. But nominations for this year's Nobel Prize closed in January, so Trump will have to wait till next year to see if he wins.
Wow.
That'll be our second straight president. That'll be great. Good look for our country.
It is.
Yeah.
All right, and we are live, and right now, Angelina Jolie is defending herself in a custody battle. Reports surfaced that she could lose physical custody of her kids if she continues to limit Brad Pitt's access to them. Now, a spokesperson for Angelina told The Blast, quote, "It's deplorable that someone, for their own selfish reasons, leaked selective portions of the confidential and sealed court record to create an inaccurate and unfair picture of what is really happening." The couple separated in September of 2016 after an incident on a plane involving their eldest son, Maddox. Pitt was cleared of allegations of child abuse. However, it should be noted, while he's in London, because she's filming her movie, while he's there to hopefully see the kids, the scheduled visitation is for 4 hours, and he has to be supervised by a doctor.
Yeah, I think that says a whole lot. Yesterday, the story came out that Angelina could lose the kids because of a custody dispute. Today, it's a very different picture, and we know that it's only 4 hours as supervised. That's very telling that something went down. I'm not saying that Brad Pitt is culpable or has done something terrible, but I can understand, and I'm sure a lot of single moms out there can see, if you had a child who was older and that dad wasn't that child's father and something happened between the two of them, putting you in that situation, having to choose between your child and the man that you brought into your home, I can see her being a little bit more mama bear about it. But this story, the fact that it's being leaked, it doesn't look great in my book for Brad Pitt.
But the courts also, I agree with you, but the courts also tend to always take the side of the mother. That's a true testament and a true statistic. What would you say, though, to the fact that he apparently isn't allowed to communicate with them via cell phone, via text message?
Right.
As a father of 3, Al, how does that make you feel?
I don't know. Obviously the scary thing is that these documents leaked. I mean, we're talking about kids' relationship with their father and overall their parents in general, which is scary. But staying on what you're talking about, I mean, it kind of tells me that maybe there was some impropriety. I mean, courts don't willy-nilly remove, parental access to their children, especially with somebody like Brad Pitt, unless they must have read something. They read something that was alarming enough where they were like, this man needs to be supervised. Right. We'll never know. That's a confidential document that I hope we don't find out about.
Yeah, we
That's
need
between
to keep that.
them and the courts.
I agree. And there is new reason to hope for a Roseanne spinoff right now. This after Roseanne is, quote, seriously considering giving up any profit she would stand to make from the spinoff idea. That's according to Page 6. So this could allow the show's other stars like Sarah Gilbert, Michael Fishman, and John Goodman to star in a new show focusing on their characters and their backstories. Would this change your mind about Roseanne, and would you want to watch the spinoff?
Yeah, both sides. I think this is going to change everyone's mind, because right when this story broke, we talked about spinoffs. I'm sure everyone did. And having Roseanne profit from that spinoff, people were hesitant. But her giving back or not taking the money is very big of her, and it's great for what her friends, quote unquote friends, to move on and make some money.
Yeah, I would definitely have empathy for her and hope that she had a self-realization moment and is learning from this.
Yeah, I'm actually very excited for Roseanne, and I know that sounds weird, but anytime, obviously she made a mistake, and I can't, like I said, I don't want to say like what's in people's hearts, but she made a mistake and she kept saying that she was sorry and no one believed her. The way that you do things is put action in front of it or behind it. And when you atone for something by saying, I'm going to make this situation less toxic by removing myself and suffering a loss on top of it so that you can get what you rightfully have earned, I think that this is her first way into freedom. And after all, like when you do something wrong, you want to be free.
Yeah, that's a good point. And please let us know, D-Mail Nation, if you would tune in to a Roseanne spinoff. We are live and happening right now. Wildfires are burning out of control in Colorado. Kelly Schubert has been tracking the story all week. Kelly, what is the latest right now?
Yeah, Sam, right now the biggest fire we're watching is the 416 fire burning near Durango. Right now, firefighters are dealing with extremely dry conditions and strong wind gusts, and that's hurting them as they try to get it under control. I just checked, and so far the 416 fire has burned almost 26,000 acres, and right now it's only 15% contained. And take a look at this satellite video we just got in showing all the smoke. Thousands of people are evacuated from their homes right now, and you can see why, with multiple fires growing quickly across the state. Sam?
Kelly, are there any injuries?
So far, the good news is we have not heard any reports of any injuries.
That is good news,
Yep.
and Kelly will keep us up to date on that. All right, moving on, switching gears to probably my favorite story of the day. It has captured the attention of the country and even the world. This super raccoon dubbed the NPR raccoon, it climbed one of the tallest buildings in St. Paul, Minnesota. That's about 300 feet. Check this out. It all started on Monday. The daredevil just kept scaling the building. Someone caught a picture on the 13th floor, still going strong. By the 23rd floor, the little guy had to take a little break, you know. Maybe check out the scenery. And the workers inside the building took these pictures, but don't worry, everyone. The raccoon made it to the roof. Oh, look at him. It was captured safely by wildlife management, but the NPR raccoon has reached a new level of social media fame and even has its own Twitter account, tweeting this morning, "I made it. I'd like to thank God, the great people of Minnesota, and the Wu-Tang Clan. Now someone come get me. I'm on the roof."
The second tweet was, "Don't come near me. I have rabies." Raccoons are vicious animals, and I'm not falling for this PR stunt.
Well, yes, they are vicious animals because they are wild animals.
Yes.
Perhaps that was once his ancestors' turf. So he's just returning to his home.
No, Sam, he was hungry. He started climbing. Halfway through, he was like, "Oh no, I've blown this." That's why he had to keep stopping, because he was out of gas. He got lucky when he got to the top. He had no way down. And he's lucky he was on human turf where we could take him down, because otherwise he'd be scaling on the way down. So I feel like this is more of a story about human triumph, not about raccoons. There I said it.
I got nothing. That was pretty good.
Erica, I don't like wild animals.
No, I'm just finding this debate very interesting.
Yeah.
But just so you know, we did talk to our friends in Minneapolis this morning, and they are putting the raccoon in an undisclosed location for the raccoon safety.
Yes, under somebody's ranch house.
And because the paparazzi been a little overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And it is a female raccoon.
Famous now.
A lot of people on social media were assuming it's a male raccoon. It's a female raccoon.
Oh my God.
Are you bringing gender into this?
How did you know? We're a live show that covers what you're talking about right now. Coming up on DBL, our very own Tori Shulman sits down with a comedy legend, how Carol Burnett forged her own path and won for female comics everywhere. And Pothole Patrol Across America, the unlikely company that wants to fix your neighborhood streets. And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. Have you ever been so mad you wish you could break something? It's now possible thanks to Anger Rooms. We're sharing your comments next.
Through.
Mine too.
Okay. You have to stay tuned for the next segment because it's about getting your anger out. Smash rooms.
Some of y'all need it.
Yeah. Me. I just like to break things.
You
don't like to break a light bulb?
No, I don't understand breaking things.
Do you like to break
I think
a light
I've been
bulb?
traumatized.
Yeah.
They're fun, right?
I'll break everything.
See?
Yeah.
Way to go, Lex.
No,
Flip
I
this
don't do.
table over.
I don't do breaking things, especially things that I've already paid for and own. Like, I don't understand people who break their own crap. It's like, you purchased that. Now you have to purchase it again. You're an idiot.
Okay, what if you won the lotto? $400 million.
It doesn't matter. It
My
doesn't
TV
matter.
would go
you know
right
how rich
off the
people stay
balcony.
rich? By
Right?
not breaking the things that they've
I
already
would
purchased
smash
once.
my whole place up. And because I'm leaving, I'm moving into a beautiful
you could donate.
new home.
You could donate things.
It's
it
old.
Shows,
It's old.
No, it shows a lack of respect
How about this?
for your property.
Let me break all my stuff, and then I'll donate new stuff.
No. No, because there are people. One man's trash is another man's treasure, and someone could benefit from those things.
I'm gonna give it to him, but after I break it. Al, would
I'm
you?
not okay with
would you
this.
smack? Would you? This is so weird. But if you won $400 million, I said I would just throw my TV off the balcony and break everything in my house.
I don't like breaking things.
You don't?
I can see.
Lex, get back up here.
That because like I know rock and roll guys trashed hotels and stuff like that. I like nice stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, but you're gonna get
Thank
really nice
you.
stuff. Oh, Lex, she wants to break stuff.
Yeah, I'll break everything.
See?
Give me everything you own and I'll break it.
Why do you want to break
I have a lot of stress.
Mine sounded a
I have
little
a lot
more
of
happy about
feelings.
breaking it. You
See,
were like,
I get stressed when I hear things breaking, so no.
so you'd hit a smash room?
If its intention is to be broken, then like I don't see
Go
why
work
not.
at a restaurant.
What
All you do is hear
is an
things
intention?
break all the time.
Well, if you like get something and then
You wouldn't like to just take a glass and like throw it against the wall?
No.
Like you watch it break, or like blow things up. You don't like to blow things up?
Do you know what happens to that glass? You can't walk without shoes on.
No, but if it was organized.
15 seconds.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. You're our 5th host, and we're sharing your comments. So have you guys ever gotten so mad you just want to break something? Yes.
No. I just want to do it for fun.
Well, me too. You're not alone. Oh my gosh! This was my idea. You're not alone. A new business in Charlotte, North Carolina lets you smash, bash, and destroy objects to let out your frustrations. It's called an anger room, and it aims to relieve stress. So DBL Nation, would you ever visit? Okay, before we chime in, because I know we have a lot to say, let's get right to your comments. Here's Karen's DBL take. I think it's brilliant. We are always told to act a certain way, be this, be that. Sometimes you just want to let loose.
Yeah, Karen, there's a way to let loose. It's called beer, all right? Hit happy hour and relax. Stop smashing things.
No
what are you, Bam
way.
Bam from the Flintstones? Stop.
Why? First of all, I had an idea, a warehouse called Vent, and you go there and you do exactly that. But that image where they just showed the car and the baseball bat, that's what I was thinking. And then you could have a room with plates and throw the plates, and then you could have a room and have computers and hit the computers.
My anxiety level can't take it.
We're strangely similar because I'm not even kidding. 20 years ago, and I've told people this like seriously for an idea. A restaurant, I mean, top notch, bow tie, everything. You got to dress up. The best food you could get, the best wine. Afterwards, you bust everything. Everything.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Us here are different.
$2,000 a plate.
What's the name of it? Was it
Big Jeff's Bumper Room.
Della writes in, I think they need to skip the anger room and drive straight to a therapist's office. If you have that much pent-up rage, then there are larger underlying issues. Della, I am 100% on your street, okay? I do not think that this is normal. I think this is a crime against humanity. I really think it makes me so anxious when I hear things breaking. And it's like those things were purchased. That shows a lack of respect for currency. It shows a lack of respect for value.
Erica.
It shows a lack of respect for your possessions.
Erica.
You should not be going around breaking things.
If you worked on a computer all day long, do you know how good it would feel to go into a room full of computers and bash them?
No, that would not
You
feel
didn't like
good.
Office Space?
That would not feel good to me. That makes me super anxious.
You sound like my mom.
You want to get another one in?
Yeah, here's Joel's DBL take. I get the shtick, but adults should probably learn better ways to handle their stress. I recommend yoga or meditation as a non-violent alternative.
Jeff, you're a yoga guy.
I'm a yoga guy and I'm a smash guy. I do them both. But I'm not an angry smash guy. I just feel like, you know, who doesn't like to break a light bulb? Come on, it's fun.
Let me just ask you this. How does it feel when you have to replace something that you purchased and destroy?
But the light bulb was burnt out, so why not just give it a little pop?
If I buy it once, that's the only time I'm buying it.
All right, we are live. Brett Forrest with news at the moment.
Thanks, guys. I've been boxing a lot lately, so getting that aggression out does feel good. Anyway, we're just hours away from the Russian World Cup, 2018 World Cup's kicking off tomorrow morning, but the U.S. didn't even make it, so I have some good news. The World Cup is coming back here. FIFA just voted today approving a joint bid between the U.S., Canada, and Mexico to host the 2026 World Cup, beating out Morocco. The field will expand from 32 to 48 teams, and 60 of the 80 games will be held in the U.S., while Canada and Mexico have 10 each. The world's biggest sporting event was last held here in 1994. And this picture behind me, well, that's from the 2010 South Africa World Cup. I went. I just wanted to brag a little bit. They're a lot of fun, so get excited for it to come back here.
Yes. And what about that cute little haircut of yours?
You gotta stop embarrassing me like this.
What country is Brett cheering for in that picture? What flag was that, Brett?
That is Brazil. I didn't get to go to any U.S. games, so I had to adopt a team. And Brazilian fans are out of control, so I had a lot of fun cheering for them.
All right. Thanks, Brett. Okay, looking for a new job or just need to dust off your old resume? Well, guest co-host Stephanie Jones has some tips for people of any age.
So whether you're fresh out of college or you haven't updated your resume in a while, you need to listen up because Moneyish.com has got some very helpful advice. First,
out with the old work experience. Edit your resume to only include the most relevant work from the past 10 years. Anything else just seems irrelevant and outdated. Next, remove your GPA. If you're long out of college, there is no need to include it. It's more about the degree itself, not the grades. And finally, get rid of the generic line references available upon request. It's so outdated and meaningless, and if the employer wants a reference, they will ask you for one. DBL Nation, do you own any clever resume tips? Let us know, and back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. We are live and just found out who bit Beyonce. Plus, basketball great LeBron James opens up about his greatest dream and why it could come true. And up next, a fan favorite, Al Jackson sounds off on the craziest viral videos and trends he can find. Don't go away.
Yeah, we're going. Yeah. So, all right, guys, coming back. I have to pee, so talk about it. But Al, he's going to talk about boxing.
Erica,
we have to do it again.
Brett's boxing tomorrow?
Yes, I did.
It's exciting.
Yes, I did. Paramount, right?
Hold on. Yes, Rita, I'll work on it. Yeah.
Yes, this
Paramount.
is a really big deal.
It's at the Fillmore Auditorium in Denver.
I lied. It's at the Fillmore.
Right, and it's all for charity, which is super amazing.
Yeah.
Haymakers for Hope.
Yeah, so they've done it in Boston and New York City for a while now, and this is the first year in Denver. So I don't think it's sold out yet, but a lot of tickets have been sold, and I'm excited. A lot of people here at DBL are coming to root for me. But I did take Friday off, so you guys won't be able to see if I got any black eyes or anything.
Well, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
We'll let you know.
There'll be
but
plenty
that's
of
it's the new
footage.
haircut to intimidate the competition.
It is, yeah. Because my other hair, I loved. I've had that style for a while, but it was always flopping in my face, and I want to focus on my fight, not getting the hair out of my face.
Yeah, that's definitely something that would be a weakness. If you were going like this.
I know. Yeah, hold on. Don't hit me for a second.
I gotta adjust my hair.
Are you nervous?
I am nervous, but I've trained for 4 months now, so all the haze in the barn or whatever that phrase is. So all I can do is just go out and do it.
So if he doesn't come back next week, then you know something.
He's gonna come back. What? You don't even put those things out into the universe.
Oh, come on, he's gonna be fine. He's the comeback
I'm a
kid.
universe person.
It's just 3 rounds anyway. So if I get my butt kicked, I will be fine because it'll be over very quickly.
How long are the rounds?
3 2-minute rounds.
Oh,
so
man.
I'm sure it'll be tiring, but it'll be over quickly.
I sparred for 3 1-minute rounds, and like probably 1.5 minutes in, I was like,
Yeah, do you have
that
you been
anaerobic?
training that long? Like, have you done it?
Yeah, typically I'll do like a 50-minute class where we punch nonstop for 3 minutes, then do a 1-minute break of like abs or squats and stuff.
So you have the endurance already.
Yeah, I should. And my mentality is not to attack, but to be smart. Fight smart, not aggressive.
Fight smart.
Yeah.
Remember that, guys.
Good
All right, more
luck.
in the next break. Good luck. Thank you.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. It's time now for Al Sounds Off, when comedian Al Jackson goes off on the wildest stories he could find.
Yes.
Let's get right to it, Al. Last night on Chrisley Knows Best, Chase escorts Grandma Faye to a seniors dance, and she shows the young pup she still has a few tricks up her sleeve,
Yeah,
Al.
I like that.
Well, Nanny, I'm sorry they didn't have a bar.
Honey, this ain't my first rodeo.
Okay.
Right from the wrist. Didn't even take it off the wrist.
I got it on.
Ah, Jeff, I like grannies that are alcoholics but constantly on the go.
Yeah.
I do like, she's like, hey, everybody's like, hey, turn your hearing aid up. And she said, what?
Turn down for what?
That's right.
There
Finally,
you go.
a granny that gets smashed with the homies. My girl. Keep it up, Granny. Let's go to the next
We
one.
like it. All right. Stepping in gum, Al, is the worst. Well, thanks to this new product, our streets might be a little less sticky. Enjoy.
Gum. We all love it, we all chew it, and we all need to get rid of it. We have started looking for a way to turn what appears to be something useless into something useful. The first shoe ever made from recycled gum.
No, I would argue it's still useless. You know, this is, I mean, what are we doing? We're making shoes out of things you're supposed to be avoiding. What's next? Dog poop shoes? Like, no one wants gum. I mean, look, this does, it's good for the environment, but bad for your dating life.
I got
Fix it, get rid of it, buy some Nikes.
No gumshoe joke in there?
No,
was that too easy?
No, it was too easy.
It was too easy.
I would have stepped right into that one.
Oh, the professional right here. All right, guys, today's viral video is of a photo shoot that reminds me of the children's game Duck, Duck, Goose, but this one's more like Pick, Pick, Swan.
Yeah, this swan is like a thief. It goes right for the jewels. You know, I just don't want to be attacked by something that beautiful. That's like getting beat up by a sunset. Swans are vicious and should be avoided at all costs, kids.
There you go, everybody. That's comedian Al Jackson right there. And this is Al Sounds Off. That was a good one, buddy. We are live, and this next story has all of you talking pothole problems, but an unlikely company is helping out. Here's a hint. Can they fix a pothole in 30 minutes or less? And bad bedtime habits that could be fouling up your entire day. That's next.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by... This is an important...
Hey guys, it's Lex. I'm here with the digital team giving you the top trending stories during the break. Right now trending on Delish.com is a new release that they're dropping, and it's Oreo flavored iced coffee. It will have caffeine in it, and it will be with dairy. So I can't have it, but I heard it's really good.
And lots of sugar.
Lots of sugar. People are kind of advertising it as like a late night snack, like a cookies and coffee, because you don't want to have coffee too late in the day. Someone got to try an early release of it and gave it an 8 out of 10. A food blog on Instagram gave it an 8 out of 10. So, I mean, I think it's worth a try. I do like Oreos. I love Oreos a lot. What's your favorite cookie or your favorite snack that you would want to be turned into a coffee? Let us know. Comment in our comment section. Kelly's got more.
If you guys are not wanting Oreo, I don't know, coffee creamer is what I would equate it to, you might want to try this new health food trend. It's called Moon Milk, and it's blowing up over Instagram. It's these beautiful cups of really curated, colorful glasses of milk. And if you're wondering what's in it, it's... Can we just get a look at Kelly Schuber's face right now?
What? Tell me what it is.
Yes, I'm going to tell you what it is. So it's milk blended with different spices. So it can be tea, it can be nutmeg, cinnamon, pretty much any spice that can give the milk color.
Lex, you're still out of luck.
What is the red there?
I would assume
like a little
the
sprinkle
red
on
is
top?
probably a tea kind of mixture right here just to give that color. But
Interesting.
do you know that millennials really want colorful things on their Instagram feed, which is what I say is making this popular right now. But honestly, that would taste pretty good to me. They're always evolving how we drink regular things or how we eat regular things. So this is, I don't know. DBL Nation, what do you think? Kelly Schubert is not a fan. I personally would try it. See?
Yeah, I can't try it.
Yes, we know, Lexi. You're lactose intolerant.
Wait, but I guess the same. You can
Almond
do it with
milk, soy milk.
Yeah.
There's options. All right, keep writing in, guys, and we'll get back to you the next break.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Do you ever have those days when you're tired, cranky, and no amount of coffee will help?
Never.
Well, there could be a reason. Guest co-host and beauty expert Stephanie Jones has this story coming in hot.
A trending Huffington Post article breaks down common bedtime habits that could be ruining your whole day. A few are pretty surprising. Take a look.
I love to unwind with a glass of wine. Much needed, because why not? Because I also hope that I can sleep as good as Sophie girl. That's sleeping like a baby right there.
Whew. Time for my midnight workout. Let's get started. 1001, 1002, 1003.
Oh, Al, we all know you did like 2 of those things. There's no 1,000.
Wow, I get you.
So proper skincare routines at night are good for your complexion and your mental health, which means no quick makeup wipes. And Sam, alcohol affects your sleep cycle, which isn't good. And Al, those late night workouts keep your bodies awake, so it's not ideal for getting some sleep. So here's to a good rest, DBL Nation.
All right.
What are you giggling at?
The 2 shot of us makes me laugh. Sorry, we're live, I can say that.
You guys
right?
kind of look like the farmer picture.
Yeah, a little bit. A progressive farmer commercial.
Go back to the 2 shot really quick. I don't know, I just think it's funny. All right.
It's the little things in life. So yeah, that's awesome.
We are live. Breaking news right now. Report of divorce for Bill Cosby. It's coming up next. Wow.
A controversial race to the finish. Should teens born male be allowed to compete on the girls' team? Blast from the past. How John Travolta is celebrating 40 years since Saturday Night Fever. And a woman who needs no introduction, Carol Burnett, in her own words, with our very own Tori Schulman. More Daily Blast Live is next.
Hi everyone, happy Wednesday. It is hump day, but I hope that you're having a good one. I'm just going to read out some of your comments that we've received online so we can take a look and see what you guys are saying. So, Ice Mike on Facebook said he loved Rosanna and that was his show. Okay, we've got a lot of comments on this because the panel were talking about obviously what's going to happen with this spin-off and do we think it's a good idea or not. Leanne Wally on Twitter saying, I would watch the Roseanne spin-off. I would prefer it to the original. Controversial, there we go. Tana Moret on YouTube says, RE the Roseanne spin-off. It was confirmed that Roseanne Barr would not profit from the show, then she would 100% watch. The crew and other actors have her full support and she loves the reboot. So there we go. What do we all think, guys? Keep messaging in. We want to hear from you. Also, we've had a comment regarding Kim Kardashian and has she been doing all of this stuff, advocating and helping this woman out of prison for her own benefit, or is it for publicity, or is it out of the goodness of her own heart? So we've got a comment from Thomas McGee on YouTube. He said that he agreed with Al that Kim doesn't need the publicity, and I'm going to choose to see the good in her and say that she wanted to help that poor woman. In this case, I don't think there was an ulterior motive. What do you guys think? Do you agree? Do you think Kim Kardashian is now turning into an advocate of supporting people and helping them and doing the best for them? Or is it literally just because, you know, Kanye potentially might run for president? Can you imagine? Do you think that would be a good idea? I'd love to hear about that. So let me know what you guys think. Message on in, because I'm going through everything. Oh, Hugh Beaton on YouTube says, is this a Kim media ploy? Is she doing a good thing? Or how much money does she need? She should be paying some serious fines to get people out that don't need to be there. But then should she be funding that out of her own personal finances? What do you think? Let us know. I want to hear from you. See you later.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. We are live and we have breaking news right now. We have a fast blast regarding Bill Cosby. Digital producer Brett Forrest has the latest. Brett?
That's right, saying breaking news right now. Camille Cosby is getting ready to divorce Bill Cosby after his rape conviction. This according to Radar Online. Cosby was convicted on April 26th, and reportedly Camille immediately fled to their home in Massachusetts. And this morning, Bill, ignoring Bill's begging her to stay, she took their 3 grown kids with her and apparently has no interest in seeing her estranged husband. Bill Cosby was convicted but remains under house arrest in Philadelphia until his September 24th sentencing.
Well, I'm glad that she's out of denial.
Yeah,
because she seemed to be for a period of time there.
A period of time seemed like about 50 years.
I mean, yeah, right. I mean, maybe she was just waiting for this conviction.
But she stood by his side and was in court smiling. It's like, I mean, she was on his side. So, I mean, apparently she either gained new knowledge between his conviction and now, or she knew that the whole time. So I don't know if I'm ready to put her on my shoulders.
I don't know if she was necessarily on his side. I think she was on the side of trying to salvage their legacy and their financials, really.
I'd agree with that.
But I think that probably she's gotten some dose of truth.
We'll see. I mean, this is based off of one report with Radar Online, but we will keep tabs on this story, and we'll bring them right to you. 2 transgender teens are winning race after race at a Connecticut high school. They were born male, but now identify as females, and they're breaking records left and right, coming in 1st and 2nd place. But now, parents and students are speaking out, saying it's not fair to let these teens compete with the rest of the girls' teams. You're a former student athlete. What do you think about this?
Well, I think it goes, I think if you're transgender and you're a male transgendering into a female, it's unfair for the other female athletes. I'm just going to, come right out and say that, because males, okay, are better athletes, use that loosely, okay, but they're just stronger. They're built differently. That's why there's an NBA and a WNBA. If there wasn't, there would just be NBA basketball and the best players would play.
It's difficult, though, because I come from, also, I swam for an NC2A team. We won the NC2A championship. So for me, as a past student athlete, I've changed my mind. I remember this coming in, this topic being brought up like 15 years ago and thinking, wow, that's not fair. I wouldn't want to lose my spot on the Olympic team due to somebody that had an advantage over me, or my spot on the UCLA swim team due to the same reason. And then as time went on, I thought, you know what, that's not cool. That's not fair, because we need to be more inclusive. Like, these are people that are identifying as female, as male. They have transitioned. They've taken the proper hormones. That means estrogen to transition into a female. And if anything, it's a teaching moment. Erica, you spoke to that.
Genetically, though, we're different. I understand.
But it's a teaching moment.
I do think it's a teaching moment, and I think it's also a moment for a time to change policy, which we do all the time. I mean, Title IX, you think of protections. However, I think that people are looking at this very short-sighted, because what you have are two athletes who, yes, are genetically predisposed to be stronger than their competition. But how about encouraging the competition, the young girls who are competing against them, to try to compete? They may never be as great or as strong as these two individuals are, but at least it gives them and prepares them for the world where you're never going to be the prettiest, you're never going to be the smartest, you're never going to be the fastest. And then we get policy that actually accommodates for this transition. And I think that that's all we really need.
I think that's great. All right, an incredible moment from last night's America's Got Talent is going viral. In it, a shy 13-year-old girl unleashes a killer voice. Watch.
How are you? A little bit nervous.
And I'm guessing you're going to be singing for us?
Yeah.
Listen, don't be nervous.
Now, Courtney Hadwin won Howie's Golden Buzzer, but social media is a little bit skeptical of her Shy Girl act today. She's been performing around her native UK for years. She was even the runner-up on The Kid's Voice in England last year. Oh, sourpuss face Al, what's going on?
I just don't like when kids play up the whole cute card. That's why I said, and you guys attacked me a couple months ago when I said that I didn't think that it's fair for kids to compete against adults on AGT, because they play up the cute thing, and it's not fair. And that that was a tag, because this is a talent contest. This isn't an emotional manipulation contest. That's what she's
incredible.
Then come out and sing without any tricks. Okay. Don't come out in a wheelchair and a neck brace and then stand up and be like, I feel Jesus, and then start singing.
Why? You know what? I got a question for her. Maybe Stephanie can answer this. How come when British people sing a song, you don't hear their accent?
I know. I've always wondered that. I don't know what that is.
But anyways, back to the story.
Yeah. I find it interesting that you're saying don't use something that you clearly have that's a strength in order to compete better. I mean, we all know, especially in the spirit of a reality singing competition, the people with the stories are likely the ones who are going through. So if you have a shtick, what's wrong with using it? We all use our greatest strengths in order to play and compete.
Because it's a lie. It's disingenuous. Do not clap for that. Because if she came out and she was like, listen, before I sing the song, I want you guys to know that this is the last song my grandmother told me to sing before she passed away. And then we found out her grandmother was alive and kicking. You would it's the same thing. It's emotional manipulation.
No.
It's the same.
That's not the same thing.
It's the same set. How is that different?
No, it's like you being like, well, you know what? I'm naturally funny, so I'm not going to utilize that because I don't want to have an unfair advantage. That's just ridiculous.
That's not ridiculous.
Wait a second. Where's
Discuss
Stephanie?
this during the break.
Oh, is she coming in?
Oh, Stephanie, we're coming right. Oh, Stephanie.
I'm up here, guys. Hi.
We have a big studio here. So why is it that British people lose their accent when they sing? Can you sing?
Oh, I'm awful. I'm outrageously terrible. Don't even ask me. It'll break all the cameras.
Can you at least sing like Old MacDonald so we can kind of hear your voice?
Oh my God, are you ready? Okay.
Do it.
Old MacDonald had a farm.
E-I-E-I-O.
Help me out, guys. Don't leave me hanging.
She had the accent, though.
I think
she debunked it. She debunked my theory.
And clearly I'm a mom asking her to sing Old MacDonald.
Wow.
Embarrassing.
But it goes with your outfit.
Oh.
What? It looks like she's baking pies.
You should be stirring some iced tea right now on the porch.
We are live.
That was a compliment.
Alvina Weva has news at the moment.
You look great today, Sam. Now, I want everyone to take a look at my screen. Right now, Google searches for Sanaa Lathan are spiking because many people are wondering who this person even is now that she's been outed as the actress who allegedly bit Beyonce's face at a party. Tiffany Haddish just seemed to confirm the news in an interview out today in The Hollywood Reporter. She says the actress's family was upset that she told the now infamous story, but Tiffany insists she wasn't trying to ruin any careers. That's why she originally left out Sanaa's name.
But I thought we heard Sanaa was the culprit.
I'm just going to say, Black Twitter exposed this early, and she came out and said that she was not. So I'm not saying, Raquel, I know you know everything, and I respect that, but I'm just saying she said it wasn't true.
But now Tiffany's saying, Tiffany's not denying it now.
Oh. I'm also saying, this first time I heard the story, I was like, oh, the Bayhive, they're coming for you.
Yeah.
The Bayhive is very scary.
That's trouble.
They will swarm your social media with bee emojis. Watch out. Kid Rock knows. In a world divided, there's one thing we can all agree on. We all hate potholes, right? And they're not just bad for your car. They can actually ruin your takeout delivery. So Domino's is taking a stand. Take a look.
But those roads shouldn't ruin your pizza when you carry out. So we're doing something about them, starting with this one. If your drive home is rough on pizza, tell us at pavingforpizza.com so we can fix roads across the country.
Great marketing. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
That's a great advertisement.
I was about to say, what a great advertising campaign. I mean, in a world where people, you know, it's not just all commercials on television anymore. You have to find your audience wherever you can. Sometimes it's online, like us here at DBL. Sometimes on broadcast, like us here at DBL. And sometimes when you're driving around a pothole, you're like, thanks, Domino's. Now I'm going to get some pizza.
How sad is it, though, that Domino's has to do this and not our local counties?
You're right. Papa
for
John
which we are already paying taxes.
on.
So where is that money going?
You pay taxes on pizza.
Pizzas are like $8 at Domino's. You get your deal. You get your money back.
But I'm saying we're paying money in taxes in order to make sure that our roads are paved and safe. So I shouldn't have to order a pizza or ask Domino's to clean up my streets. I should be talking to the elected officials about that.
Wow.
Yeah, but elected officials don't have pizza, Erica. That's why they're not Domino's.
We gotta get you off the pizza, okay?
No, I can't get off it. Don't talk about it if you want me to talk about it.
Now it's time for our top feel-good stories of the day. Stephanie, you have all those videos that are making DBL Nation smile.
So you can tell by the way he used his walk, he's a pizza man. No time to talk. Yeah, that's right. John Travolta returned to the site of the most famous pizza slice ever, Lenny's Pizzeria in Brooklyn, where he filmed the iconic opening sequence of Saturday Night Fever back in 1977. He's still making that white disco suit look good. He better not get any salt in it, that's all I'm saying. And persistence pays off. Michael Tran from Idaho just won $2 million in the Powerball. He played the same numbers for 18 years and finally won. Amazing. And we are loving this video. That's 19-year-old Carlos Nieha graduating from high school in Midland, Texas. He has Down syndrome, but clearly nothing can hold him back. In fact, his name, Mr. Joyous, and you can see why. Congratulations to Carlos. And coming up on Daily Blast Live, a feature film is being made about a small-town football team with some big Hollywood actors. It's our DBL Spotlight. And don't go anywhere, because Tori Shulman goes one-on-one with comedy icon Carol Burnett. And it's an interview that you do not want to miss.
We are going to be doing bobbing for apples. You have 1 minute. We're going to do it at the same time. Oh no, my face is way too pretty.
We're going to do dramatic reading now from Night Watch.
Night shift.
Right.
Bleeding in the left lower quadrant.
Tell CAT scan we're coming as soon as he's tuned.
I'm losing his pulse. Okay, so we're just doing. So you hear everyone? Don't open it. Don't, for God's sake, save the children.
New sunscreen. It's Sea Star Sparkle. It's Sprue 50, so you're actually getting some protection from the sun.
SPF, by the way.
Okay, I say Sprue.
So today we're playing Big Mouth. Jeff and Tori each have a minute to guess trending headlines they can give to the other player.
You're freaking me out. Bill, you lost on your own question.
Yeah, I can't even remember my own dialogue.
Bill came in second.
similar.
Oh, it's big, guys.
You have wrapped in your hand.
That is a pretty
It looks just
big-
like that.
It does. It does. This is how it's done right here.
Hey everybody, it's Samantha Harris. Welcome to Dancing with the Hosts. That's right. Puppies!
Why don't you go to the moon?
We want it.
Watch me on Blind Date on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it's on there. Excuse me, I'm gonna go find that.
We found the clip that you. So embarrassing.
I make my jazz house before. So every time you walk
Start
in,
the date with Jordan bronze jazz hands.
Everybody thought I don't know comics. Really ticks me off.
Favorite thing ever is emoji. Headline, today's headline with emojis. Jeff and I try to figure it out. Okay, Nestle paid for the rights to sell Starbucks. Sell Starbucks!
No, I want nothing to do with this, so I'm leaving.
We want to make sure you guys are informed because what is information? Power! And knowledge!
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. In today's Chatting with the Stars, Tori Schulman gets the chance of a lifetime to go one-on-one with one of the greatest comics of all time, Carol Burnett.
In 1967, you were given the Carol Burnett show, and it was a woman in a variety show.
Yes.
Nowadays, that's sort of normal. Amy Schumer's, we see that.
Yeah.
You were sort of the first.
Well, I wasn't the first in variety. Dinah Shore was, but it was a musical variety show. I was the first in a comedy variety show.
Did you feel a special sense of responsibility as a woman?
No.
Or did that not even come into
It
it?
never occurred to me because it was all I knew because I'd started out on the Gary Moore show and I was the second banana on that show. I was given all kinds of different characters, wonderful sketches to do. The junior writer on the Gary Moore show was Neil Simon.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we called him Doc Simon. So when I had this wonderful caveat in a contract with CBS, I said, no, I want to do an hour variety show. And they had to put it on for 30 shows. They wanted me to do a sitcom, and I said, I don't want to do the same person week after week. I want to put on wigs and black out my teeth and do pratfalls and have music and guest stars.
How do you feel about blue comedy, edgy comedy?
Blue and edgy is okay if it's clever. When it's gratuitous, I go, I'm bored. I tune out because I'm sick of having people, talk about their bodily parts. I don't need to hear that unless it really makes sense.
Speaking about Samantha Bee apologized recently, I want to know how you feel about comics apologizing.
If they crossed a line and if it's, hurting people, and it's hurting them, I think an apology is in order.
Now, you have a new Netflix show that I'm so excited, A Little Help with Carol Burnett. How do you stay relevant? You're still doing this show live with no safety net, no plans. How are you staying relevant?
By doing this kind of show, and coming out and doing Q&A and not having any plants in the audience so that it keeps the old gray matter ticking. So you have to be focused. You have to be in the now. I can't be up on stage thinking about what I did yesterday or what I'm going to do tomorrow.
I read that you do the New York Times crossword puzzle every day. Me too.
Yeah, but I'm peachy keen Monday through Wednesday.
Forget it, Thursday,
Friday. Sunday,
I like
sometimes
Sundays.
I'm a little better.
Me too. But that's Saturday. I don't even know what you're asking.
Forget it.
Move on, Will Shorts. We don't know what you're doing.
Wow, and part 2 of Tori's exclusive interview with Carol Burnett airs tomorrow, and here's a sneak peek.
1981, you won a very high-profile case against a publication. In this age of fake news, do you think it's easier to fight for the truth in media or harder?
Oh my gosh, I just want to see the whole interview right now.
What a great teaser. I want to see how she answered that.
Yeah, and stick around for part 2 tomorrow because something special happens at the end of that. I don't want to ruin anything.
All right, good job, Tori.
Yeah, absolutely.
And during the commercial break, check out our Facebook stream for some shocking Carol Burnett facts that you have to see. We are live, Raquel Villanueva with news at the moment.
Well, right now, social media is freaking out over the first images of the new Wonder Woman sequel. Gal Gadot just tweeted this shot of the movie set in the 1980s. Now, Now, this is what really has people talking. It's this picture director Patty Jenkins tweeted out. It features Chris Pine as Steve Trevor, and spoiler alert, that character died in the first film, so how is he alive and well 60 years later? And he hasn't aged a bit. I guess we'll have to find out the real answers when the film comes out November 1st, 2019.
Ooh. Sam, what do you think about that? I don't know. I think they're going to have to use like a time portal or something to make it seem...
Well, they can do whatever they want, yeah.
And do we know when the movie's supposed to come out?
Yeah, it's coming out November 1st, 2019, and it's going to be called Wonder Woman 1984.
Ooh. Oh. Anything 80s nowadays gets people going.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like Stranger Things, they started that trend. We are live. Hollywood is all about remakes, and this one will have you feeling the magic of Disney. Guest co-host Stephanie Jones has the story coming in hot.
I'm so excited about this. The trailer for the live-action film Dumbo has just been released. Colin Farrell, Danny DeVito, Michael Keaton, and Eva Green all star in this highly anticipated remake. And here's a first look at the trailer.
We're all family here, no matter how small. Here, Dumbo. Show 'em.
It makes me feel all gooey inside. I love Dumbo. It's coming to theaters March 2019. I want to know who's going on a Dumbo date with me.
I'm going on a Dumbo date with you.
Yeah.
It's Tim Burton, am I right? Tim Burton is helming it because it looks like Tim Burton's. Oh yes, it is Tim Burton. It looks very Tim Burton. I love Tim Burton. I say Tim Burton one more time.
Wow, Tim Burton. All right, there's a plug for Tim Burton right there. Yeah, that's going to come out. I can't wait to start going to the movies. It doesn't matter. Let's go.
All that matters is Tim Burton.
Tim Burton. We're just going to end with that.
Oh, love Tim Burton. Coming up on Daily Plus Live, we speak with the man whose time as a Texas football team chaplain is being turned into a movie, and his character is played by Mel Gibson's son.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Today we are shining the DBL spotlight on faith and football. A small town's team's path to the championship game is headed to the silver screen. Take a look.
Brothers Keeper, the book about the inspiring 2009 Abilene High School State football champs, is hitting the big screen.
Brothers Keeper is more than a movie, it's a movement that the world needs to see.
Actor Lawrence Fishburne stars in the movie about a Texas team that overcame obstacles by putting their brothers first. Team chaplain Chad Mitchell joined the team in 2001 and co-wrote Brothers Keeper. He wanted the players to have guidance and a mentor, something he felt he didn't have, which led him down a troubled path. Mel Gibson's son Milo plays Chaplain Chad. The movie is filming now and premieres in hometown Abilene this fall.
And Chaplain Chad himself joins us now. Chad, what's the meaning behind the title Brothers Keeper?
It came from the Bible, just about being your brother's keeper, about being accountable to one another, about loving your brother regardless of where they come from, and just looking out for their best interests.
I love that. And how has the community of Abilene responded to making this movie in such a small town?
You know, it's been incredible to watch the support, but it's a long process, and to see the community come together once again and relive this magical journey, and also learn a lot of the backstories that they did here in 2009. It's going to be absolutely incredible.
And speaking of the movie business, Chad, there are some Hollywood heavy hitters in this movie. What has your experience with Lawrence Fishburne and Milo Gibson been like?
They're both incredible people. And to hear those guys, people you look up to, say they're a part of this movie because they honestly believe in the story, it truly blesses me to hear that and see that they're inspired by the story as well.
As you said, Milo plays you in the movie. What similarities? Did you guys share any similarities?
It's kind of a funny story. I got to the hotel in Minnesota. I had just met him, and he's like, hey, let's go have dinner. And so we both went into the hotel to our room to change, and came out, and we were actually dressed alike. And so it's kind of funny. Obviously, as he hears more of my story, I'm able to actually hear some of his as well. And I feel like I got a friend out of this as well, and he's an incredible human being.
Well, Chad, you're doing a great thing, man. This looks like an incredible movie. We want to thank you so much for joining us right here on Daily Blast Live, and we look forward to seeing Brothers Keeper hitting theaters this fall.
Thanks so much.
Great story, Jeff. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
just clipping the old ID badge on when people run to the restroom. We have badge access to get in and out of the studio. Security reasons. So the hosts obviously don't keep their badges on them ever. So they borrow mine off it, and that's kind of why it looks like this.
Didn't look like that when Stu had like a limo driver.
Copy that. Yeah, but yeah, it's been a really good show. It's been great having Stephanie here, Stephanie Jones as a guest, and we're about to wrap it up with a quick goodbye. But then we'll be coming back for one more hour. One more hour. You know, I actually did. On Monday, I was able to check out Incredibles 2. It was really good, and I gotta say, you know what? It's actually better. It's actually better, which is really refreshing for a sequel, and especially a superhero sequel. And there will be a full review.
Easier for cartoons to do animation to do because they don't age.
That's true. That's true. It makes it a little smoother. It picks up right after the first one. It's really fun. It's very funny. 20 seconds here. You guys got to check it. And there will be a full review on our YouTube channel coming out Friday. So on DBL Jump. All right, 10 seconds. Here we come. Breaking the door.
Welcome back to DBL. We are looking at all of your comments
on the anger room.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Morpham on Twitter says, if Daily Blast Lads go to a smash room, bring a cell phone. And then on YouTube, One Nup says, I seen smash rooms a couple years ago, rent everything out.
So So, I mean, I don't know. I'm still down with my restaurant idea.
Your restaurant idea is a great idea. Let's say you could go to this smash room, and apparently there's different rooms where you can break different things. What would be the one item you would want to break?
Maybe that's.
I've always wanted to like split a table in half, like with a bat. I just want to go at a table. I don't know.
Wait a minute, you were on team non-smash.
I am, but she said if I was forced to go to a smash room. You know, there's situations in life where you're forced to go.
No, peacefully protest.
If you won the lotto, would you break everything in your house?
No.
No, but my husband says he would.
Oh, see, me and Mark were
That's
besties.
wasteful.
Weird.
I'm getting new stuff anyway.
But what if you like your stuff?
TV right out the window.
We're live on YouTube and Facebook. Keep the conversation going, everybody. Happy Hump Day! Almost to the weekend.
Yeah.
It should be recycled because it's already broken up.
Right, like a car. Those are junkyard cars.
I mean, I just think if you're gonna take a junkyard car, it's a good way to
sensitivity.
recycle.
They had that at carnivals. Wasn't there a carnival
things.
where you could like get 3 whacks at like a car or something?
No, but I like that.
I could have maybe I was just playing in my carnival.
One of your many ideas
in
in addition to the restaurant.
There's that weird screen in Street Fighter where you could break the car.
Oh yeah.
Remember?
Right.
Wait, do you know how ironic that is? I was at Sophie's birthday. I played Street Fighter. I just did that on Saturday.
Really?
I just broke up the car.
Oh,
yeah.
man, I
how
missed
ironic
that.
is that?
This is new.
Let's bring you over to Al's seat. Al
so-
will swap you over to Eric.
weird? Like,
let's
yeah, it is.
switch your mic out of
All
Who
right,
brought
guys,
up
so,
Street Fighter?
you know, if you could break anything, what would you break in a smash room? That's the question we have. I love the car idea, just so I could relive that lemonade moment. I just feel like I could get my inner Beyonce out and smash up a car. But let me know what you guys think. You know, like Eric was saying, it's wasteful, but the ones I've seen, especially in California, they just fill it with thrift store or recyclable garbage from a junkyard, so it's not harming anything. And actually, like I said, it kind of breaks everything up, so it can be easily recycled. But Patty.
What?
Now, this is Patty, one of our producers. Patty was just setting up some more amazing morning save deals.
Yeah, so it's gonna happen, and I think July.
So
I don't know for sure.
yeah,
I think
but
it's
we're
July,
gonna-
but there's gonna be some really amazing products.
We've seen
I'm
the
super
stuff
excited about
this summer. It's gonna be
and
insane.
The stuff is so cool
Yes.
and really cheap.
It is, so
amazing.
start making your list now because
Yes.
there's a lot of gifts to be
Lot
bought
of good stuff.
this summer here on DBL with the DBL deal. All right, guys, so stay with us. We'll have more to talk about, including with Stephanie Jones. We'll have more comments with her, so stay with us. Bye.
Today on Daily Blast Live, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's nasty custody battle. Could she actually lose her kids? Tori Shulman goes one-on-one with Carol Burnett.
I want to put on wigs and black out my teeth and do pratfalls. And
the comedy legend on doing things her way. And talk about a rise to the top. Meet the world's most famous raccoon. Daily Blast Live starts right now.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Wednesday, June 13th. We are live, and we have breaking Fast Blast news regarding Bill Cosby right now. Digital producer Brett Forrest has the latest.
Yeah, that's right, Jeff. Breaking news right now. Camille Cosby is getting ready to divorce Bill Cosby after his rape conviction. This according to Radar Online. Cosby was convicted on April 26th, and reportedly Camille immediately fled to their home in Massachusetts, ignoring Bill's begging her to stay. She took their 3 grown kids with her and apparently has no interest in seeing her estranged husband. Now, Bill Cosby was convicted, but remains under house arrest in Philadelphia until his September 24th sentencing.
Thanks, Brett. Is anybody with Bill Cosby right now?
Well, according to the sources of Radar Online, he is just home alone now. Camille took everyone with her, so he is just home alone with his ankle bracelet on.
Wow.
Good. His ass should be in jail.
Yeah.
Soon.
Well, he's in a jail in that, like, his support system has abandoned him, and that house is probably real quiet. It gives you a lot of time to think about what you did.
Absolutely. And before we get to this first story, guys, I do want to introduce Stephanie Jones with us today.
Thank you. Hello. Thanks for having me again, guys.
I love it.
Hello. Hi, guys.
Every time you say, pretty much every time you say anything, I smile.
Oh, Oh, thanks. I'm glad I have that effect. I'm glad you can understand me and everything's good. So.
It's all gravy.
Thanks.
All right. Here we are. We are live right now and happening. Kim Kardashian West just arrived in Memphis to meet Alice Johnson. As you can see in the video, just into the studio from Fox 13 in Memphis, Kim Kardashian walked into the house to meet Johnson for the first time face to face, and reports are there was a joyous scream heard from inside the house. If you look closely, you could see them hug back there. Johnson was freed up by President Trump, who commuted her life sentence after this meeting that you'll see in a little bit with Kim Kardashian on May 30th. There it is. And Hoda Kotb is there as well, wow, to do a sit-down interview with the two that will air tomorrow morning. Well, that's maybe the reason why the cameras were there. When I first saw this story, I thought maybe that was for keeping up with the Kardashians. But
it is.
You think it's there as well?
I think that the footage is going to be multi-purpose.
Does it matter in your mind?
I don't think it matters. I really I hesitate to say what's in someone's heart because we don't know that. I think what Kim Kardashian did was quite admirable to use that her platform in that way and to bring light to prison reform. Other than that, I don't know what her motivations are, but what's anyone's motivations for helping other people?
What do you think of the Kardashians?
Okay, I genuinely admire them. I admire Kim because I think she's the ultimate businesswoman and she's so intelligent, and you do not get to the place that she has got to without being incredibly clever and sassy, right? I do think she's done an amazing thing for this woman. It's completely changed this woman's entire life, as she thought she was going to spend the rest of it in jail. But I think that, I don't know, if it gets shown on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, then I think that's just, it doesn't stop what she's done, but I think it would completely change my opinion on it, because then I'd see it as more of publicity using.
I see what you're saying.
I would say this though. I would say that most people that watch Keep Up the Kardashians probably aren't super invested in prison reform. So maybe you're introducing a new audience to a problem that's been going on, and maybe we might find people that are like, hey, I want to advocate for people that are falsely imprisoned or imprisoned longer than they should have been. So
let me just throw this out really quickly, because we had this conversation about Bethany Frankel when she got the private jets and sent them to Puerto Rico. And then recently, like as in 6 weeks ago or something, they aired that special or that show, and I actually donated to Puerto Rico that day, and I hadn't done that before. So it was bringing it back and reminding people that Puerto Rico still needs donations. So I think that by having it in another platform, yes, you're absolutely introducing it to someone else.
Great point, Al. I love that. We are live. Raquel Villanueva has news at the moment.
Right now, we are learning President Donald Trump has just been nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. Norwegian lawmakers gave him the nod after the agreement reached with Kim Jong-un this week at the North Korea summit in Singapore. But nominations for this year's Nobel Prize closed in January, so Trump will have to wait till next year to see if he wins.
Interesting. That's good, I guess, for our country, right?
It's a great look for the United States. It'll be our second president, if he does win, to win a Nobel Peace Prize. So that's a great look for the United States. We want to make sure we look good to the rest of the world.
Can't honestly say I ever saw that coming with Donald Trump. Like, was not expecting that.
I'm sure a lot of people feel echo your opinion.
Yes.
All right, we are live, and right now Angelina Jolie is defending herself in a custody battle. Reports surfaced that she could lose physical custody of her kids if she continues to limit Brad Pitt's access to them. A spokesperson for Angelina told The Blast, quote, "It's deplorable that someone, for their own selfish reasons, leaked selective portions of the confidential and sealed court record to create an inaccurate and unfair picture of what is really happening." The couple separated back in September of 2016, if you remember, and after an incident that took place on a plane with their eldest son, Maddox, Pitt was cleared of allegations of child abuse. This is sad. I mean, I feel for the... I feel for the kids in this situation. Divorce is ugly no matter what, but with that many kids and what's going on with the custody battles, it's ugly.
It is ugly because what's happened is if you can't win in court, then win in the court of public opinion.
Yes.
And I believe that that's what is being attempted to have happen, because yesterday when we had this story, everyone was very against Angelina Jolie, saying, how dare she keep them away from their father? But the fact is, the father only has 4 hours of visitation, and it's supervised. That's kind of telling that something isn't quite right. And the idea that her team is coming up and saying, you know, it's unfortunate that these details were leaked, says to me that there's probably some protections that she was giving to Brad Pitt that now will likely come out as a result, because now we're trying to win the court of public opinion.
But then I think if it's her team that are coming out and saying we don't know all of this, you don't know the full information, again, that's what her team want us to know.
Right.
If the judges said that Brad Pitt is completely fine to be around his kids, he's clearly stated that he's going to have more access rights. He's also going to be given, I mean, he didn't have their phone numbers, and obviously now he will do. I think that says a lot, because surely the justice system can see that he's safe and fine to be around.
But if a father gets 4 hours
that's what I was just
of supervised,
Stephanie, if I told you, yes, Steph, I have kids and a judge says I can see them 4 hours every Saturday, wouldn't you be like, what?
Well, yeah, but I mean, is she not using her name? I don't know, he's got a big name as well, but I just think there's a lot more to this than we realise, and we don't ever know what happened on that plane. We don't know what's gone on behind closed doors. We don't know what we don't know. But I just think if the judges, he's moving those 4 hours and giving them days and now weeks in the coming months.
Okay.
Yeah, to reintroduce them. That's, I mean, generally, if it's amicable and everything's on the up and up, we're talking 50-50. Like,
yeah. Oh,
all right. And there is new reason to hope for a Roseanne spinoff right now. This after Roseanne is, quote, seriously considering giving up any profit she would stand to make from the spinoff idea. That's according to Page 6. This could allow the show's other stars like Sarah Gilbert, Michael Fishman, and John Goodman to star in a new show focusing on their characters and backstories. This is big of Roseanne. It's a big step for her to not take that money. I think it's the right move, don't get me wrong. I think it's the right move by her so her other co-workers or friends could move on with this.
Well, let me ask you guys a question, and we'll get to what Roseanne did in a second. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Just in terms of just television, which obviously we're all in media, do you think you can remove the central character that all the other characters kind of orbit around? I mean, just using simple physics, I mean, once you remove the thing that holds the most weight, it throws off the alignment. So I wonder, I mean, do you have a real burning desire to see what Sarah Gilbert's character, like how it develops?
I think solely for the media attention alone and the fact that she's done this, it's going to boost rating numbers, and people are going to want to see exactly what will happen and how the characters will be portrayed and the storylines that will come from it. So I think it's a good thing. Good for the cast.
Absolutely.
Fair.
And the crew. Definitely.
Very fair, yeah.
I'm actually excited for Roseanne because I think that this is the first step to atone for something that you clearly know you did wrong. And when you take ownership and atone for things, then you're set free. And I think that this is going to be a healing process for her. Obviously, she's had some mental health issues, and by removing herself and allowing the rest of them to profit from this is absolutely the right step.
All right, guys, it has captured the attention of the country and even the world. There it is, the super raccoon, dubbed the NPR raccoon. It climbed one of the tallest, I love that graphic, buildings in St. Paul, Minnesota. That's about 300 feet. Check this out. It all started on Monday. The daredevil just kept scaling the building. Someone caught a picture of on the 13th floor. There it is right there. Still going strong. And by the 23rd floor, the little guy, he had to take a break, right? Workers inside the building took these pictures. That would be crazy if you looked out your window on the 23rd floor and saw a raccoon. But don't worry, everyone. The raccoon made it to the roof. It was captured safely by wildlife management. But the NPR raccoon has reached a new level of social media fame and even has its own Twitter account. Tweeting this morning, I made it. I like to thank God, the great people of Minnesota, and of course, the Wu-Tang Clan. Now, someone come get me. I'm on the roof.
This is the cutest thing I've ever seen. We don't have raccoons in England. I need a raccoon. Can you get them as a pet? I know they're wild, but is there any domesticated ones?
No, you're going to go there. England will be taken over in 6 months.
No, my heart is melting. I just want to brush his fur. I just want to put a little bow on him. I want to bring him into DBL. Can we have a DBL raccoon?
They are vicious. Seriously.
Raccoons are giant, mean. They're like rats that have been in the county jail.
No.
They're big rats.
That is if you would have asked me like a trivia question on the raccoons in England, I would have said absolutely yes.
Oh, yeah, you taught me something today.
Learning something today. We're a live show that covers what you're talking about right now. And coming up on Daily Blast Live, our very own Tori Shulman sits down with the comedy legend, how Carol Burnett forged her own path and won for female comics everywhere. And Pothole Patrol across America, the unlikely company that wants to fix your neighborhood streets. And you, the viewer, are the fifth host. Have you ever been so mad you wish you could break something? I know I have. It's now impossible. It's now possible thanks to Anger Rooms. We're sharing your comments next.
Wait, let's talk more about the lack of raccoons.
Not lack.
Are there any other animals that are native here?
I'm trying to
Do you have squirrels?
Yeah, we have loads of squirrels. We have grey and red.
I don't think that was ridiculous.
Red are really, really rare.
What?
Red are really rare.
Rats?
Red squirrels.
Red squirrels.
Oh, red squirrels.
Yeah, they're really rare. They're
That sounds like a military operation.
They got wet.
Red squirrel.
Operation Red Squirrel.
Oh no.
Red squirrels.
Yeah, they're really rare though. But
Okay, what else? What else do we have?
I'm trying to think.
Australia's got like what, wombats?
Oh,
We have no wombats. I've yet to. Oh, I went
I
to
took a
the
picture
zoo
of the wombat.
and I was really hoping to see a wombat, and there was
You went
no.
to the Denver Zoo?
No, I went to a zoo when I was in
Oh, in
California,
Oh.
and I was hoping to see a wombat, and there were no wombats. I
I
was
saw
so
a Tasmanian
disappointed.
devil in Australia. It was a big letdown. It's just laying there.
I think they just look a bit scary.
Yeah, they're not wild like the real one. That's all PR.
Wow.
The real one?
Oh,
Yeah.
I just love animals so much.
You should go to the Denver Zoo.
Is it good?
It's not. Yeah, it's really good. They sell beers.
like the cartoon.
No, the cartoons
Right when you walk in, there's lions.
Yeah.
Like there's a lion sanctuary or whatever, and there's like 5 lions. In it. It's pretty cool.
I haven't been there, but I got to go see the gorillas. I have a thing for monkeys and gorillas.
We have a year pass. That's how much we like it.
Wow, yeah, you guys go to the zoo a lot.
Yeah.
So does Sam and
My
Mark.
son loves it. Yeah, it's great.
I can't
You
wait.
guys have to go to the animal sanctuary.
Where's that?
It's in Brighton. It's where they rescue from like circuses and zoos
I've seen that
and
place.
so
Do you feel bad?
No,
no,
it's
they
like
give
a
it,
wide
they
open
give
space.
it more space and you like kind of walk above the
I've
animals.
seen that.
Yeah, read the
I was
whole
going to talk to you
thing.
about it. I wanted
So
to do a story
Erica will
there.
go first, and then
Yeah,
she'll
you guys should
comment,
go out
then you can
there.
read the
It's really
second
cool.
one.
I don't know if it was a two-man crew. I think it'd be cool if you covered it. I think you bring a lot of heart.
You do the third one. You kick it off, but I got to read this intro.
All right, thanks, guys.
It's called the.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. You, the fifth host, and that's you guys. And we're sharing your comments. We get so mad, we just want to break something. You ever get like that? We're going to get to it. All right. You're not alone. A new business in Charlotte, North Carolina lets you smash, bash, and destroy objects to let out your frustrations. It's called Anger Room. So DBL Nation, would you visit? Ooh, I like it. We are live, and your comments are coming in right now. Erica, why don't you kick us off?
All right, Jay Berg writes in, if you have to clean up the mess, you will think twice about breaking things. I agree, Jay. You'll also think twice about breaking things if you have to repurchase them. But really, when I understand that this is a business, I don't understand this at all. It gives me high anxiety to hear things breaking, especially if I start quantifying how much they cost originally. Big Mama raised me better than that.
I like to happily break things.
Oh, it depends on the situation. Let me tell you, there's been times where I've wanted to get something and yeah, smash it up. I've never had the opportunity when you know, boyfriends have done something really bad and you're ready to get a baseball bat and like.
All right, sounds like you thought.
Take it out a teddy bear instead, guys. Don't listen to me. I'm not.
You want to get Karen's take? Let's see what Karen says.
Okay, Karen's DBL take is, I think is brilliant. We're always told to act in a certain way, be this and that, and sometimes you just want to let loose. So I agree. I'm fully with you. Sometimes you just need to like get that teddy bear, rip its head off, and throw it back with the flowers that they should have bought you way more of.
That sounds like a Taylor Swift video.
Yes.
The teddy bear did nothing.
Well, Jeff, Della writes in, she says, I think they need to skip the anger room and drive straight to a therapist.
Oh, no.
If you have that much pent-up rage, then there are larger underlying issues. I don't know. I think we all get rid of things the same way. I mean, some people have a beer after work, some people go to the gym after work, and some people smash things.
Well, let me tell you, Della, I'm gonna ask you this question. I thought of this idea for a restaurant 20 years ago. My mom's probably laughing at home, or sad, crying because her son thought of this idea. But you get really dressed up, bow tie, top of the line, you know what I mean? Put on your Armani suit, very nice steaks, fish, whatever you want. It's gonna have a combination of both. The best wine in the world. Afterwards, you smash everything.
What about I'd be scared about my clothes. I wouldn't mind so much about the plates.
And
$2,000 a plate.
In Greece, they like smash plates as a celebration, right?
But then what if you get like ketchup on your nice Armani suit?
Yeah.
Well, it's $2,000 a plate, so you shouldn't be worried about that.
You shouldn't be eating ketchup at a $2,000 dinner.
That's right. All right, guys, we are live. Brett Forrest with news at the moment.
Thank you, Jeff. We are just hours away from the 2018 World Cup in Russia kicking off tomorrow morning, but the U.S. didn't even qualify, so I do have some exciting news. The World Cup is coming back here. FIFA just voted today approving a joint bid between the U.S., Canada, and Mexico to host the 2026 World Cup, beating out Morocco. The field will expand from 32 to 48 teams, and 60 of the 80 games will be held in the U.S., while Canada and Mexico have 10 each. The world's biggest sporting event was last held here in 1994. And if you're curious about this picture behind me, that's me and my cousins at the 2010 World Cup in South Africa. Someone said I'm humble bragging, but I am not. I'm straight up bragging. It was a great time, and I'm very excited for it to come back here.
All right. Thank you so much, Brett. Looking for a new job or just need to dust off your old resume? Sam Shocker has some tips for people of any age, and they're coming in hot.
They are. Whether you're fresh out of college or haven't updated your resume in a while, listen up. Moneyish.com has some helpful advice. First, out with the old work experience. Edit your resume to only include the most relevant work from the past 10 years. Anything else seems unrelevant and outdated. Next, remove your GPA. If you're long out of college, there's no need to include it. It's more about the degree, not the grades. And finally, get rid of the generic line, references available upon request. It's outdated and it's meaningless. If the employer wants a reference, they'll ask for one. So DBL Nation, do you have any clever resume tips? Let us know. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Sam. Coming up on Daily Blast Live, LeBron James opens up about his greatest dream and why it could come true. And up next, a fan favorite, Al Jackson, sounds off on the craziest viral videos and trends he could find. Don't go away.
Oh,
I don't have dirty nails.
I could break anything.
My fingers like blue.
I don't know why this.
I gotta wash.
This is weird.
They're new.
I hope
gotta
this.
wash.
I hope this doesn't sound sacrilegious. I would just want to shake a Christmas tree till all the ornaments fall off. Not the baby Jesus, but just like the regular ornaments. I don't know why. It's just something about shaking a tree and like feeling it break underneath my hand. I don't know. It's something weird. I said that's what I want to do.
What?
I want to shake a Christmas tree. He said if I could break anything, but not the baby
There's a place
Jesus.
in London.
But I
did
just
a
want to
story.
shake it.
Wasn't there that? I'm almost positive it was London, and they had a smash room for like Christmas trees.
Right.
Oh, I don't know. I've not heard about that.
Never heard about it?
No.
Didn't we do the story on that?
We did a story about that.
I thought it was in London. I might be mistaken.
Decorations.
Maybe I need to go to
I love
London.
my Christmas decorations.
Me too.
Then don't you want to shake
No,
them off at the end of the...
You know, I wouldn't mind so much if it was like breaking other people's stuff, but if it came to my
Breaking other people.
Yeah.
That'd be the name of a good show. Breaking other people.
Breaking other people's
You just
stuff.
knock on doors. Hi, welcome to breaking
So
other
like
people's stuff.
you never broke a light bulb that was like burnt out?
No.
What? Try it.
Those filaments are really dangerous. They can get in your skin and really poison you.
But they make a cool sound.
They make a cool sound. I'll give you that.
It's never even crossed my mind to do that.
What's wrong? You think
ever.
something's wrong with
No,
me?
you know what
In
I
my
do
mind.
You know what I do like to do? You know when you get, we call it bubble wrap?
Oh, yeah.
And you like pop it, like...
That's kind of the same
that's
thing.
what
But
Just on a smaller
then you get
scale.
anger when you get that one that won't pop. Then that brings all your anger back up.
No, but that's quite good. That lasts a while.
When you're especially on a roll, and the one's already popped.
Yeah,
like,
you just look at it, you're like, what?
That's the good stuff. Send me some bubble wrap.
Some bubble wrap?
Yeah.
So what are you?
I'm asking everyone to send me some bubble wrap.
I feel like
today
somebody's
your
going to
last
send her
show?
a nice gift and bubble wrap should like throw the watch away and just keep the bubble wrap.
I'm trying to think if I don't have any bubble wrap.
You don't have any bubble wrap now? Look, I'm a big fan of bubble wrap.
So what's going on? Are you here the rest of the week or?
No, I'm leaving today.
That's
Everyone
it?
keeps saying I'm here all week, and I'm not. I'm here today.
Well, you're going back to London
I'm
tomorrow.
flying back tomorrow, yeah.
Dude, you should smuggle a raccoon
I would love to smuggle a little fur baby with me.
and then infest
England
with
we'll come
raccoons.
bail you out of airport jail.
Then you could stay.
He can be called Mr. Noir because he's like black.
Did you ever see the movie Elf? Elf?
Yeah. What did
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. It's time now for Al Sounds Off, when comedian Al Jackson goes off on the wildest stories he could find.
Yes.
Let's get right to it, Al. Last night on Chrisley Knows Best, Chase escorts Grandma Faye to a seniors dance, and she shows the young pup she still has a few tricks up her sleeve.
Yeah,
Al.
I like that.
Well, Nanny, I'm sorry they didn't have a bar.
Honey, this ain't my first rodeo.
Okay.
right from the wrist. Didn't even take it off the wrist.
I got it on.
Ah, Jeff, I like grannies that are alcoholics but constantly on the go.
Yeah.
You know, I do like, you know, she's like, hey, everybody's like, hey, turn your hearing aid up. And she said, what?
Turn down for what?
That's right.
There
Finally, a granny that gets smashed with the homies. My girl. Keep it up, Granny. Let's go to the next.
We like it. All right. Stepping in gum ale is the worst. Well, thanks to this new product, our streets might be a little less sticky. Enjoy.
Gum. We all love it. We all chew it. And we all need to get rid of it. We have started looking for a way to turn what appears to be something useless into something useful. The first shoe ever made from recycled gum.
No, I would argue it's still useless. You know, this is, I mean, what are we doing? We're making shoes out of things you're supposed to be avoiding. What's next? Dog poop shoes? Like, no one wants gum. I mean, look, this does, it's good for the environment, but bad for your dating life.
I got
Fix it, get rid of it, buy some Nikes.
No gumshoe joke in there?
No,
was that too easy?
No, it was too easy.
It was too easy.
I would have stepped right into that one.
Oh, the professional right here. All right, guys, today's viral video is of a photo shoot that reminds me of the children's game Duck, Duck, Goose, but this one's more like Pick, Pick, Swan.
Yeah, this swan is like a thief. It goes right for the jewels. You know, I just don't want to be attacked by something that beautiful. That's like getting beat up by a sunset. Swans are vicious and should be avoided at all costs, kids.
There you go, everybody. That's comedian Al Jackson right there. And this is Al Sounds Off. That was a good one, buddy. We are live, and this next story has all of you talking pothole problems, but an unlikely company is helping out. Here's a hint. Can they fix a pothole in 30 minutes or less? And bad bedtime habits that could be fouling up your entire day. That's next.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
Hi everyone, happy Wednesday, happy hump day. Welcome to The Breaks. My name is Lex. I'm here with the digital team giving you more top trending stories. And right now on Hello Giggles, Netflix is making a new reality show. They have started to dabble in unscripted series such as Queer Eye, and there's one more, Nailed It, which is that baking show where they try and do the Pinterest DIY and then it just doesn't turn out right. Also, really good show. I would highly recommend it. But anyway, they're starting a new show, and it's going to be a crossover between The Hills and a singing competition. So I imagine it being aspiring musicians live in a house and then compete in competitions together. I'm not really sure, something like that. I think it's pretty interesting. I like the whole unscripted idea of a show. Let us know what you're watching on Netflix. Let us know if you would watch this show. Let us know if you like The Hills. I never watched The Hills. I know, I'm not a Hills person.
So good.
I know, but Kelly's got more stories.
Guys, Father's Day is Sunday, and if you do not have a gift yet, we have a story that you might be interested in. This is coming from foodandwine.com. Jim Beam is selling $25 round-trip tickets to visit their distillery in Kentucky and taste their new black label. So it's actually kind of an all-inclusive thing. Let me read it for you. They're offering a creative solution to Father's Day because it's always hard to figure out, do we go to a game? Do I get him concert tickets? Do I get him alcohol? Well, this is kind of all-encompassing because it includes a golfing trip, a tasting tour, and just a bottle of bourbon, which honestly I might just be getting my dad because it's kind of coming down to the end where you should be getting that gift. You have to send yours soon, right?
Yep, I have to send mine today in order to get there on time. We're still figuring it out.
Food and Wine. Have a beautiful Father's Day. Keep ready.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Do you ever have those days when you're tired, cranky, and no amount of coffee will help? Oh, we all have. There could be a reason. Sam Shocker has this story coming in hot.
You certainly have them days, Jeff. A trending Huffington Post article breaks down common bedtime habits that could be ruining your whole day. A few are pretty surprising. Take a look.
I love to unwind with a glass of wine. Much needed, because why not? Because I also hope that I can sleep as good as Sophie girl. That's sleeping like a baby right there.
Whew. Time for my midnight workout. Let's get started. 1001, 1002, 1003,
Wow, wow. Proper skincare routines at night are good for your complexion and mental health, which means no quick makeup wipes, Stephanie, you hear me? And unfortunately for me, alcohol affects sleep cycles. And late night workouts keep our bodies awake and active, not ideal for getting sleep. So
okay, I'll drink.
Good rest, DBL Nation.
What are you going to do instead?
Drinking wasn't an option.
Oh, yeah, I can't drink. What do you do if you can't work out and you can't drink?
How do you go through life?
I don't know. Somebody write in and tell us.
Is that true as well in the UK? Do you enjoy a good pint?
Oh, I don't personally like a pint, but I would prefer a glass of wine. But yeah, it's a big thing. I think the drinking culture in England is pretty big. We like to relax with a glass of wine in the evening for sure.
I love it. All right, we're live and working on a developing story. Could Roseanne get canceled? I don't know. Be up for an Emmy. We'll be right back. I don't know.
A controversial race to the finish. Should teens born male be allowed to compete on the girls' team? Blast from the past. How John Travolta is celebrating 40 years since Saturday Night Fever. And a woman who needs no introduction, Carol Burnett, in her own words, with our very own Tori Shulman. More Daily Blast Live is next.
We are going to be doing bobbing for apples. You have 1 minute. We're going to do it at the same time. Oh no, my face is way too pretty.
We're going to do dramatic reading now from Night Watch.
Night shift.
Right.
Bleeding in the left lower quadrant.
Tell CAT scan we're coming as soon as he's tuned.
I'm losing his pulse. Okay, so we're just doing. So you hear it, everyone? Don't open it. Don't, for God's sake, save the children.
New sunscreen. It's Sea Star Sparkle. It's Sproof 50, so you're actually getting some protection from the sun.
SPF, by the way.
Okay. I say Sproof.
So today we're playing Big Mouth. Jeff and Tori each have a minute to guess trending headlines they can give to the other player.
You're freaking me out. Bill, you lost on your own question.
Yeah, I can't even remember my own dialogue.
Bill came in second.
Tori's gonna win. Similar.
Oh, it's big, guys.
You have wrapped in your hand.
That is a pretty.
It looks just like that.
It does. It does look like this is how it's done right here.
Hey everybody, it's Samantha Harris. Welcome to Dancing with the Hosts. That's right.
Puppies!
So why don't you go to the moon?
We want it.
Watch me on Blind Date on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's excuse me, I'm gonna go find that.
We found the clip that you so embarrassing.
I make my jazz out of So every time you walk
Start the date with Jordan Braun's jazz hands.
Everybody thought I don't know comics. Really ticks me off.
Favorite thing ever is emoji. Headline, today's headline with emojis. Jeff and I try to figure it out. Okay, Nestle paid for the rights to sell Starbucks. Sell Starbucks!
No, I want nothing to do with this, so I'm leaving.
We want to make sure you guys are informed because what is information? Power! And knowledge!
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. I first want to welcome Stephanie Jones. Today's your last day with us, Stephanie.
Going back across the pond.
I am. I'm flying back tomorrow, so this is your last dose of Britishness.
Britishness. We'll stay in touch, though. We'll stay in touch on social media. I have some British questions for you at the end of the show.
Ooh.
Trivia. All right, guys, let's move on right now. 2 transgender teens are winning race after race at a Connecticut high school. We're off to a great start. They were born male but now identify as females, and they're breaking records left and right. Coming in first place and second place, but now parents and students are speaking out, saying it's not fair to let these teens compete with the rest of the girls' team.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is a great debate. It's a great debate. For me personally, it's just men are different than women. We're a little bit stronger, Erica, I would say in general. So I don't think this is fair. I don't see this as fair, but I do see how you're excluding them. Where can they play sports?
Right, and this
if you're excluding.
You know, this is a sociological and a biological issue, and I mean, I think that we all, especially at this table, are all for inclusivity. But sometimes, but there is a difference in terms of your body structure, especially your upper body strength, when you are born a male. and I actually read here, and I appreciate Chris getting this to me, the IOC, the International Olympic Committee, says female to male athletes can compete without restriction, while male to female athletes must undergo hormone therapy. So they have made some distinctions to try and level the playing field, but I'm all for letting people play, but it is tough.
Yeah, I think it really comes down to policy and just getting up to date with the times. It's like things happen and we don't have a way to deal with it.
These are new issues.
Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, much like Title IX, I mean, there should be protections in place. What I would like to encourage people to think is less short-sighted, because what you're really doing is offering these young ladies an opportunity to compete against women who are now female, and they are predisposed to being more to being faster. So I think what happens is you make the women compete, and then it makes them stronger for other competitions.
I agree totally, and I think, I don't want to say shame on the parents that are kind of raising up this issue, but these girls have got so much going on already. They're having to transition, and I can't even imagine how hard that must be, mentally, physically, going to the doctors, having all these hormones, everything else. And then if this is something that they enjoy, something they're good at, and they want to be seen equal as the other women, which they are, then let them do it.
I think people are saying that they're not equal. I think people are saying they're genetic. They're not.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
it's so tough.
Superior.
Like, what do you do? Because I don't want to be the person that tells them that they can't compete in a sport that they love. Right. You know, but at the same time, I empathize with the parents of the child that they're competing against, where they're like, hey, my kid worked hard too. Right.
Yeah, of course, I get that. But I mean, you know, I do agree with actually the standards that have been given there, and I do think if it's a female transitioning to a male, obviously they're having a lot of testosterone, but which is going to make them stronger. And we were discussing earlier, Erica, that there are a lot of wrestlers, and the female to male wrestlers can actually overcome and overpower the men, because it's all about using your body weight strategically, right? Whereas if you're running, I don't know. It's hard.
See, I liken it to this, because I was on track and I thought I was so fast because I was the fastest person on the entire team. Until we went against another team that was had all sprinters. I didn't realize that my team was all cross country. So when we got to the meet, I didn't have anyone to compete against in order to figure out like if my time was getting better or like to push me. And I think that this would serve to push the other athletes.
We need to figure it out, though. It is a new kind of new thing, and we need to figure that out.
Yeah, but we're evolving, and that's part of it.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
For sure. All right, guys, an incredible moment from last night's America's Got Talent is going viral. In it, a shy 13-year-old unleashes a killer voice. Watch this.
How are you? A little bit nervous. And I'm guessing you're going to be singing for us? Yeah. Listen, don't be nervous.
Now, Courtney Hayden won Howie's Golden Buzzer, but social media is a little skeptical of her shy girl act. Today, she's been performing all around her native UK. Do you know her?
I don't recognize her, no, but good for her.
She's been performing for years, and she was even the runner-up on The Voice Kids in England last year.
Well, you know what? Everyone's saying, oh, is it fake? Is she putting on this little sweet girl act? Right, even Beyonce says when she goes on stage, she turns into Sasha Fierce. And Jay-Z, ask him, he says when she's at home, she's not this big, bold, confident woman. And like, he's like, I wish she was. What's wrong with, you know, she's going up, she's intimidated, there's a whole massive crowd there, she's a bit nervous, and then the music comes on, you know what, and she thinks, I'm doing my thing.
So you believe the shot?
It looked like an act to me.
No.
It looked like an act. Yes, but like 13, like we're in media, we know that the kids have roles too. These kids have probably been on more auditions than all of us combined. They know how to play up whatever role they're supposed to be. If they're supposed to be the scared teenager, if they're supposed to be the bully in high school, these kids play roles. That girl was playing a role, and she's trying to manipulate you.
No.
Stephanie, don't get away with that.
She's trying to manipulate the judges, and
You're
it
so
works.
cynical.
It's not manipulation.
What tricks are your little girlies playing on you at home? That's why I want to know. If you, like, they sound like they're like winding you up.
It's not manipulation.
They know how to work you. Don't judge everyone else.
I love it. It's called playing to your strength, and at least
her strength is singing, Erica.
But just the entire package. I mean, she knows that the story sells, and if that's the case, good for her. That makes her very savvy.
So when the next girl comes out on a gurney and then jumps up and says, "I feel it," and then starts singing. Hey, is she playing to her total package?
I guess she would be, yes.
All right, guys,
I rest my case.
Are live. Kelly Schubert has some news at the moment.
Yeah, I've got some entertainment news just into the studio. Even though her show was canceled by ABC because of a racist rant, Roseanne Barr still has a chance to win an Emmy this year. Page 6 is reporting producers submitted Roseanne to win an Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy Series, and they apparently did it right before her show was canceled. Her chances of winning or even getting a nomination are pretty small at this point, but reports right now are that her name will still be on the ballot. Jeff?
Thank you, Kelly. And if you were tuned in at the half break, that's what I was trying to explain.
Okay. But I don't know. I mean, her show did gangbusters, and we have to acknowledge, we have to be able to separate church and state here. She did something terrible off air, but on the air, her show was the best show, the highest rated show this year. I wouldn't say the best, I mean, that's objective, but definitely the highest rated show we've seen in half a decade. So, I mean, I think it should be up. It should be.
Well, we weren't necessarily saying these things about Kevin Spacey or James Franco. I mean, I know that they're very different things, but at the same time, should the artist and the art be separated?
They were pulling in 22 million viewers an episode. I mean, that has to be recognized by the Academy. I mean, we can't act like this didn't happen. And like we talked about, there's a lot of people that worked on the show. It wasn't just Roseanne.
Exactly.
So I don't know.
All right, guys, in a world divided, there's one thing we can all agree on. We hate potholes, right?
Yes.
And they're not just bad for your car, they can ruin your takeout delivery. So Domino's is taking a stand. Watch this.
But those roads shouldn't ruin your pizza when you carry out. So we're doing something about them, starting with this one. If your drive home is rough on pizza, tell us at pavingforpizza.com so we can fix roads across the country.
There you go. I like that ad. They're doing a good thing here.
I think so.
Why is the local, I don't know, in England it would be like the council sorting this out. I don't know if it's called the council.
Over here it's Domino's.
Yeah.
Why is it a pizza delivery company that's doing this? What's going on?
Because when it comes to our tax dollars, we don't know where they go because they're clearly not going to maintain the roads. And so meanwhile, we're also giving our money to pay taxes so that the roads can be fixed. They aren't fixed, and we're also giving our money to make sure that our vehicles are fixed after we hit the pothole, and now Domino's Pizza has to come and fix the pothole. This is ridiculous.
It's making me just hungry. Pizza.
All right, we're going to get to this next story. Does Meghan Markle deserve an Emmy? British newest royal could be in the running for a nomination for her role as Rachel Zane on Suits. Now, she never won any major award for that role in the 7 seasons she was on the show, so we got to ask, would she ever be considered for an Emmy if it weren't for Prince Harry, her marriage to Prince Harry?
Okay, so I'm going to hold my hands up. I've never watched Suits. So
there's your answer.
I don't know how great she is an actress. I think it is. Obviously, it's a very big coincidental time. She's just got married into the royal family, and all of a sudden, now that she's not allowed to be an actress, of course, because she's forbidden to do that now, she's going to...
Oh, Jeff, I have a follow-up question. Would she be allowed to, by the royal family, be allowed to come to America and accept an award as an actress, seeing that she's now a princess? Or would that be looked down upon? How would you feel about it?
I think if that did happen, she should be allowed to go and receive her award if that was the case. But I don't think she'd do any interviews, and it would be very much like in, thank you very much, out, gone. Okay. I don't know. Or maybe she'd send someone else to do it. Who knows? Wow. She's above all that now. She's
a little
royal.
too good for USA Network now.
Above an Emmy. 67% of you guys say no way. No way, Jose. Do they say that in England?
No way, Jose. Yeah, we say that. We're not like completely out of the...
You guys don't even have raccoons.
We don't have raccoons. I'm taking one back with me in my suitcase.
Oh my God.
We'll see you
Mr. Fluffy's on the flight home with me.
We'll see you at Customs Security.
You just lost your global.
All right, guys, it's now time for our top feel-good stories of the day. Sam, you have all the videos that are making DBL Nation smile.
I do. You can tell by the way he used his walk. He's a pizza man. No time to talk. That's right. John Travolta returned to the site of the most famous pizza slice ever, Lenny's Pizzeria in Brooklyn, where he filmed the iconic opening sequence of Saturday Night Fever back in 1977. He's still making that white disco suit look good. Just
just don't get any sauce on it, huh, John Travolta? And persistence pays off. Michael Tran from Idaho just won $2 million in the Powerball. He played the same numbers for 18 years and finally won. And we're loving this video. That's a 19-year-old Carlos Nuria, graduating from high school in Midland, Texas. He has Down syndrome, but clearly nothing can hold him back. In fact, his nickname is Mr. Joyous, and we can see why. Congratulations, Carlos. Yes. And coming up on Daily Blast Live, a feature film is being made about a small-town football team with some big Hollywood actors. It's our DBL Spotlight. And don't go anywhere because Tori Shulman goes one-on-one with comedy icon Carol Burnett. It's an interview you do not want to miss.
Yeah.
We're live.
We're
now.
live always.
Yeah, I'm flying back to London tomorrow from Denver. It's a lovely 8.5-hour flight journey home, but you know, it'd be nice.
8.5 hours?
8.5 hours. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's better than from LA. So.
Does Denver fly direct to London?
It does.
Wow.
It's
that's
a
cool.
miracle. It's great. I didn't know that when I came, and then when I saw my journey back, I was very happy.
It's not too bad.
Smooth.
We just added Paris non-stop flights.
Yeah.
And a couple years ago, it was Tokyo.
Yeah?
Oh.
That's right. We went to that
We are
pop-up.
coming up.
We went to that pop-up thing with
Air
the
Canada.
Yeah, Air Canada,
Yeah.
and they were showing all the direct
Poutine.
flights. Yeah.
Poutine.
Yeah. Denver's on the map. Poutine. It was poutine. That's what you know. Poutine.
Yeah, well, I only know it from going to Canada. We don't have it in the UK.
I called it something else. My bad.
What? I think I said too. Poutine. Oh.
It's poutine. Yes.
I know what you said. I know what you said. I got it. We're gonna stick with poutine. It's delicious.
It's delicious. Try
Now
it.
we're just going down. Now we're just going down a bad path here.
I'm tired. I'm out.
What do you miss most? What do you crave? Are you craving any food
Oh
from
God,
the UK?
no. The food in England isn't that great, so I'm definitely not. I'm just missing my little fur baby. I've got a dog called Buddy.
Buddy.
Buddy, yeah. So I'm missing him. I want to take him back a little raccoon bestie.
Could you just make us like little videos and send them in for us?
Yeah, of course I will.
Yeah. Isn't it just put you in a good mood? I love it.
I'm glad.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna have to stay.
Yeah.
Wow.
You could be our little Buddy.
That kind of sounds like Booty, and then it was like Buddy.
A lot of things are It's the third show. A lot of things are.
The wheels have fallen off.
Yeah.
They have fallen off.
Al, we're doing English accents over here.
Hello, Governor.
Oh, nice.
He just jumped right in.
Nice. I appreciate that. That's good. Better than my American one.
No, yours wasn't too bad.
It's weird because all my friends who work for the BBC, they do.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. In today's Chatting with the Stars, Tori Shulman gets the chance of a lifetime to go one-on-one with one of the greatest comics of all time, Carol Burnett.
In 1967, you were given the Carol Burnett Show, and it was a woman in a variety show.
Yes.
Nowadays, that's sort of normal. Amy Schumer's, we see that. Yeah. You were sort of the first.
Well, I wasn't the first in variety. Dinah Shore was, but it was a musical variety show. I was the first in a comedy variety show.
Did you feel a special sense of responsibility as a woman?
No.
Or did that not even come into it?
It never occurred to me. Because it was all I knew, because I'd started out on the Gary Moore Show, and I was the second banana on that show. I was given all kinds of different characters, wonderful sketches to do. The junior writer on the Gary Moore Show was Neil Simon.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we called him Doc Simon. So when I had this wonderful caveat in a contract with CBS, I said, no, I want to do an hour variety show. And they had to put it on for 30 shows. They wanted me to do a sitcom, and I said, I don't want to do the same person week after week. I want to put on wigs and black out my teeth and do pratfalls and have music and guest stars.
How do you feel about blue comedy, edgy comedy?
Blue and edgy is okay if it's clever. When it's gratuitous, I go, I'm bored. I tune out because I'm sick of having people, you know, talk about their bodily parts. You know, I don't need to hear that unless it really makes sense.
Speaking about Samantha Bee apologized recently, I want to know how you feel about comics apologizing.
If they crossed a line and if it's, you know, hurting people and it's hurting them, I think an apology is in order.
Now, you have a new Netflix show that I'm so excited, A Little Help with Carol Burnett. How do you stay relevant? You're still doing this show live with no safety net, no plans. How are you staying relevant?
By doing this kind of show, you know, and coming out and doing Q&A and not having any plants in the audience so that it keeps the old gray matter ticking. So you have to be focused. You have to be in the now. I can't be up on stage thinking about what I did yesterday or what I'm going to do tomorrow.
I read that you do the New York Times crossword puzzle every day. Me too.
Yeah, but I'm peachy keen Monday through Wednesday.
Forget it, Thursday,
Thursday, Friday. Sunday, sometimes
Sundays.
I'm a little better.
Me too.
You know?
But that's Saturday. I don't even know what you're asking.
Forget it.
Move on, Will Shorts. We don't know what you're doing.
Fantastic job, Tori. And part 2 of Tori's exclusive interview with Carol Burnett airs tomorrow. Here's a sneak peek.
1981, you won a very high-profile case against a publication. In this age of fake news, do you think it's easier to fight for the truth in media or harder?
You know,
that was a great interview, and something special happens. Part 2, you're gonna have to stay tuned tomorrow, but that was a great, I mean, Carol Burnett, Tori reminds me, whatever, they're the same.
Yeah, I mean, that's like her idol. Who would be someone that you would Carol Burnett over?
Oof, that's a good one. Yeah. I don't know. We'll tell you at the break. And during the commercial break, check out our Facebook stream for some shocking Carol Burnett facts you have to see. We are live. Raquel Villanueva has some news at the moment.
Right now, social media is freaking out over the first images of the new Wonder Woman sequel. Gal Gadot just tweeted this shot of the movie set in the 1980s. And what really has people talking is this picture posted by director Patty Jenkins. It features Chris Pine as Steve Trevor, and spoiler alert, that character died in the first film. So how is he alive and well more than 60 years later? And it looks like he hasn't aged a bit. Now we'll find out the real answer when that film comes out next year.
I was thinking of someone that I would Carol Burnett over, and I'm still thinking. I'm glad I brought you through the process of my mind. We are live, and Hollywood is all about remakes, and this one will have you feeling the magic of Disney. Sam Shocker has a story coming in hot.
Yes, the trailer for the live-action film Dumbo has just been released. Colin Farrell, Danny DeVito, Michael Keaton, and Eva Green star in this highly anticipated remake. Here's a first look at the trailer.
We're all family here, no matter how small. Here, Dumbo. Show 'em.
Oh, Dumbo, I love you. It comes to theaters March 2019. And I have to say, if I were to Carol Burnett over anybody, it would be the director of this film. Do you know who the director is?
Tim Burton.
Yeah.
There you go. I think mine would be like Al Pacino, something like that.
Can I ask Sam a question really quickly? Yeah. What's your favorite Tim Burton film?
Oh, I have so many. Big Fish, I would say.
Yeah, I like
Fish.
that.
I would say Beetlejuice.
Yeah, that's mine.
Maybe Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
I have a lot of them. I'm a huge Tim Burton fan.
All right, Tim Burton.
Nice.
Tim Burton, coming up on Daily Blast Live, we speak with the man whose time as a Texas football team chaplain is being turned into a movie, and his character is played by Mel Gibson's son. You don't want to miss it. Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Today we are shining the DBL spotlight on faith and football. A small town's team's path to the championship game is headed to the silver screen. Take a look.
Brothers Keeper, the book about the inspiring 2009 Abilene High School State football champs, is hitting the big screen.
Brothers Keeper is more than a movie, it's a movement that the world needs to see.
Actor Lawrence Fishburne stars in the movie about a Texas team that overcame obstacles by putting their brothers first. Team chaplain Chad Mitchell joined the team in 2001 and co-wrote Brothers Keeper. He wanted the players to have guidance and a mentor, something he felt he didn't have, which led him down a troubled path. Mel Gibson's son Milo plays Chaplain Chad. The movie is filming now and premieres in hometown Abilene this fall.
And Chaplain Chad himself joins us now. Chad, what's the meaning behind the title Brothers Keeper?
It came from the Bible, just about being your brother's keeper, about being accountable to one another, about loving your brother regardless of where they come from, and just looking out for their best interests.
I love that. And how has the community of Abilene responded to making this movie in such a small town?
You know, it's been incredible to watch the support, but it's a long process, and to see the community come together once again and relive this magical journey, and also learn a lot of the backstories that they did here in 2009. It's going to be absolutely incredible.
And speaking of the movie business, Chad, there are some Hollywood heavy hitters in this movie. What has your experience with Lawrence Fishburne and Milo Gibson been like?
They're both incredible people. And to hear those guys, people you look up to, say they're a part of this movie because they honestly believe in the story, it truly blesses me to hear that and see that they're inspired by the story as well.
As you said, Milo plays you in the movie. What similarities? Did you guys share any similarities?
It's kind of a funny story. I got to the hotel in Minnesota. I just met him, and he's like, hey, let's go have dinner. And so we both went into the hotel to our room to change and came out. We were actually dressed alike. And so it's kind of funny. Obviously, as he hears more of my story, I'm able to actually hear some of his as well. And I feel like I got a friend out of this as well, and he's an incredible human being.
Well, Chad, you're doing a great thing, man. This looks like an incredible movie. We want to thank you so much for joining us right here on Daily Blast Live, and we look forward to seeing Brothers Keeper hitting theaters this fall.
Thanks so much.
Great story. We'll be right back.
Promotional consent.
Never back down from a good one. That really worked.
I think I made that a little bit more complicated than what it is, but just watch it play.
Don't do one down there. Oh, I go?
Sorry,
okay.
yeah, I like it. Okay, that's all right.
No, you don't need to make those sounds.
Formidable opponent.
Get in there. Oh! Who's winning?
I don't know your name.
The Holers!
Who gets happy when you tie? No, we're tied. We're tied. Yeah.
Come on. Yeah!
This is for you, DBL.
Here we go, Holers.
Oh, no. Oh, my.
For DBL Nation, this one's for you.
The Holers.
No hole.
Yeah. Oh.
And in the house.
Let's go.
Girl, bye.
Have a good night, DBL Nation and the Chicago Connection.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Now, I looked up some strange laws in England, and I want to know if you know any of them.
Okay.
Do you know what playing knock down ginger means?
Is that like a weird word for like knock a door run? So like you knock on someone's door and you hope that they answer or press the doorbell and you run away?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's not too
Playing
bad.
Knock Down Ginger. All right, I have a bunch more. You can't keep pigs outside your house either. That's no problem. All right, guys, this story's never stopped. We don't either. We're live on YouTube and Facebook. That's Stephanie Jones right there. Bye.